Yo. All right. Test, test. Sound. Sound. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're live. Yeah. Okay. Let me get the screen pulled up. Chat, how we doing? Let's go. Chat, let me get a 1 if we sound good. You can hear me? All right, we sound good. We sound good. That's what that means. We sound good. Let's get this going, man. Let's get this going. Let's get this thing off the screen. There's always a delay there. Let me just give you a little behind the scenes why there's that delay. 1, I'm testing my audio in the background, so I'll throw that out. 2, I can't find the overlays sometimes, so it takes me a second to turn it off because I got to turn it on. I got way too many overlays, and then I can't find it. I see all the ones though, chat. We're live, man. We're live. Shout out to BetUS. Live stream being brought to you by BetUS today. YouTube 150. That's the code. Top of the description. Looking for a sports book. We'll check that out here in a second. But man, we're live, and today, kind of our first little let's call this a sneak peek into this matchup. So, as normal throughout the season, usually, as you guys know, I do like my preview / prediction, and it's my kind of like dive in breakdown of our upcoming opponent. Well, this game, I'm pretty sure is going to have a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be a larger deep dive type of video. Like, I don't know that it means it's going to be longer. But there we go. Now we're good. There's definitely going to be more information that I will have consumed for that video. There's definitely, sorry, with the mic. I still got to get my cord for the mic before we go back to the original one. But I'm going to have more information consumed. Because to this point, I've probably done enough to make a preview video. Like some weeks, I could have made the preview video by now. And I want to make it earlier this week because we play on Saturday, so I have to make it earlier. But I want to give it a little extra time to kind of marinate a little bit because we have that game because of how big the game is. Like, I want to give it its extra attention that it deserves. So that's what we're going to do this week. So I'm like, all right, let's go live. Because in the past we've done our preview / predictions live, and that's not what this is. That's not what this is, but I do have some plays to show. I do have an early sense of what I'm expecting here from Washington, and we do have the early, the first practice report of the week, even though it wasn't like a full practice from like the Commanders today. So we do have a little bit of information there. We'll dive into all those things today. We'll dive into all those live. Try not to make this super long, but I definitely wanted to touch on this game. Frog Crop, I'm sorry, I messed it up. Frog Crop is in the building. I see you with the Lions emojis. How you doing, man? Daniel's here. Chris, hey, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are always here, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to my man Chris Coate in the building. Wait, did I read that wrong? No, I read it right. Keith Jackson is here. He said I sounded good. Giovanni's in the building. Man seated. Jose, Que Pasa, Compadre. Oh man, I really wanna say that I know what that means, but I'm gonna struggle. Muy bien. Is that how you spell muy? Is that how you spell that? You must be, you know better than I do. Let me not question you. All right, look, man, I appreciate you being here. Man. Look at this. Look what we're doing. You go any further than that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Is the North overrated? Not us. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest, okay? I was watching that game last night, just like, yo, I kind of feel bad. I feel kind of bad right now for what they're going through. You know what I mean? Like what's happening right now for the Vikings. I felt a little bad. Like, I didn't expect them to lose. So the whole time I'm watching, thinking, all right, they're gonna come back. They're gonna make this thing interesting. But as it became more and more like they're not gonna come back, I felt kind of bad a little bit. I'm like, yo, this is not how this is supposed to go. You can't win 14 games. Get a dang wild card round. They did say they're gonna redo the seeding. Well, it sounds like that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's official yet, but it's like, man, if this is the last year the seeding's like this, and this is what you get, this is like, oh, hey, guess what? You won 14 games. Congratulations. You got to play the Rams. The only other team that beat you this year, you got them first. And, man, it wasn't even a game. To be honest, it was a blowout. I felt so bad. The fumble, the scoop and score, it's like, yo, this thing might be over. Like, and you knew they started reaching when they went for it before half. When they went for it before half and LA scored, it was like, oh, snap. They actually might not come back. They might not. They come out the second half. I think they went 3 and out. Boy. So I feel bad for the Vikings, man. But what are we down to? 4? Down to 4. Yeah, we're down to 4 in the NFC, right? Us, Rams, Eagles, Commanders. That's the 4. So I'm fired up. Maybe we do get that rematch of Lions Rams. Maybe that is possible. Vikings middle linebacker of the pack team beat up bad teams. Middle linebacker of the pack team beat up bad teams. Oh, Cashman, he beat up on bad teams. Is that what you're saying? Okay, I got you. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, Cashman. They were hyped about getting Cashman back. Like that was gonna change. That was gonna change some things. Was getting Cashman back. But yeah, no, that's unfortunate. Shout out to my guys over there, man. That's an unfortunate way to go out. All right, let's waste no more time. Let's get right into this. I want to go to the injury report first. We won't spend too long here, but we did have. I'm gonna try to show it like this because I think this looks best. If I need to show it a different way, I can't. Am I showing the right screen? Yeah, this is the right screen. All right, I'm gonna show it like this. I don't know whose article this was. Who was this? I don't know whose article this is. But anyways, this was a good graphic that kind of shows everything all at once. So this is the best way to do it, I thought. Washington's got a lot more guys listed, but the main thing with the Washington side is rest. They have a lot of guys on here for rest. The one I would circle, it's a new injury, and he hasn't had it this season, from my understanding. He's only missed 11 snaps this year, which is crazy. That is Bobby Wagner, one of the best players on this team, especially on the defensive side. Bobby Wagner, no participation on a Tuesday. So I guess we'll know more tomorrow when it's a full practice, but that's massive. Massive. And then outside of that, it's a lot of rest like Dante Fowler. Farrell plays a lot more than I would have thought. He plays a lot more at defensive end for them. Jamison Crowder, even though he was questionable last week, he did still play. Zach Ertz, no participation here. We got him with rest as well. McGee, it sounds like he's not going to be available this weekend at linebacker. And then outside of that, it's some limiteds. Zane Gonzalez, the interesting thing there is that they would go to Austin Cyber. Well, they could go to Austin Cyber potentially because he's in their IR window. They could activate him if they don't have Gonzalez. So there's potential that we're going against Austin Cyber this week. I think that's probably a reach, but it's possible, I guess. Deron Payne with the finger. But Deron Payne, he had that on Sunday, and he still played. So we'll see if, that throws anything off there. And then Ben Sinnott here from Kansas State, right, the tight end. He's only had 5 receptions this year. He did return from the injury, but he only played 4 snaps for them. And then outside of that, they have full participation. Marshawn Lattimore's returned for him, Frankie Louvu. So, yeah, it's just a lot of rest. There's a lot of names, not a lot going on. Did Dan Campbell address Zeitler? Yeah, look, man, when Dan Campbell spoke to the media, was it on Monday? He didn't really have any kind of information. Like, there wasn't much there. I mean, it sounds like Montgomery's going to play, but there wasn't a ton of information in terms of updates. He's basically said until we get to see them at practice. And he said nobody got injured over the break that we had, right? Nobody got injured over the weekend. So there wasn't really much of an update that he actually gave us. And so because of that, I guess we'll know more tomorrow. I mean, I don't know that there's much here. The Zeitler one is the biggest concern. Rakestraw is now listed with illness as well, so I don't know what that is, but I guess when we get the update there's something there. And then look, so that's the thing. Monday he spoke to us, and then Tuesday we have the injury report. So I guess we can take something from this in terms of it's probably not great with Zeitler, listed no participation, but I still wouldn't make any determinations on whether or not he's going to play based on that. But Pat O'Connor's, that one stinks. I think the Pat O'Connor one's like one of those sneaky ones that really stinks. I don't know against this team specifically that's the case, like it's a team specific thing for me. It's just in general, he's played everywhere. I mean, if you've asked him to nose tackle, he's done that. He plays DN. He's played everywhere, and he's gotten better. Like, Pat O'Connor's been awesome, so I don't know. I'm not optimistic that he's actually going to be available this weekend, but yeah, he's one of those like kind of underrated dudes that have been a dude for us. And then we'll see on the Rakestraw thing with hamstring / illness there. But yeah, Terran Arnold, full participation, that's great. Because when that happened, it was like, wait a minute, what's gonna go down here? And he's like, yo, I'm playing. So optimistic about that. And then he's listed with full participation. So I think we're going to get Terry and Arnold this weekend. And then David Montgomery, full participation. I'm pretty sure Monty's going to play. And look, even if it's like a limited practice, if Monty's putting a full participation together with an MCL injury that he didn't have to have surgery on, I would assume it's stable. And I would assume that means he's strong enough to go. Like that's surprising as heck that he's even out there to me. But based on what we know so far, I would be pretty surprised if Dave Montgomery didn't play. That's where I'm at with that. So we'll see, but I'll be pretty surprised if he wasn't back this weekend. I would expect Monty to be back, but we'll see. We'll let the week play out, but I would expect him to play. So that's where the lines are at on the injury side. The big thing for that for me is replacing some of the Craig Reynolds reps. Dan Campbell talked about him being a tone setter, but I think especially in the passing attack where he was so good, he's been so elite for us there. I mean, he's not like the Gibbs upside, but he's so elite in the passing game. It's just being so pass protection. I mean, the route tree is super limited, but it's like when Craig was out there, you had a lot of like, oh, this is not great in terms of some of the pass Not all of it was on him, maybe, but just some of the pass pro stuff was just kind of messy a little bit. Now, Craig runs well. Craig should be in the mix too. Craig runs well. Craig has always been Mr. Consistency. Vision-wise, he protects the ball. And look, man, he opened up the inside rushing attack when it wasn't there. He was used on the counter schemes on third and short, right? So there was a role for him with the gap stuff, and I think he's always been built for gap scheme. But man, he showed so much patience in the zone attack. Like there's always a role for me with him in the rushing attack. He's just not dynamic, but there's always a role there. But the pass game was kind of messy. I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of messy. And I think Monty cleaned some of that up, so that's the optimism. But that's where we're at with that. I guess we'll know more tomorrow. Don't see him on this team. Everybody thought we were going to kill the Bills. Everybody thought we were going to kill the Bills. Shoot, I hope that will kill the Bills. I see what you did there. Was that on purpose, Giovanni? Was that on purpose? All right. With that, let's talk about this team a little bit. So yesterday, Bleacher Report, I was live. 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm live now. Going for this will be in the entire offseason. Usually in the offseason, I wasn't live on Bleacher Report. I'm going to be live consistently now with Bleacher Report. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, except for the games that we play. So we play this weekend. I'm not live on Friday. I'm only live on the post-game show and Wednesday. So I'm live tomorrow again with Bleacher Report. So there is that. There is that still. But yesterday I did kind of a first look. I started diving into the film. I wanted to see what Washington was about because we had gotten a game. And I'll be honest, I was trying to do some sort of show yesterday. I felt terrible. I don't know what it was. I got sick like randomly. You know what's goofy? We were watching a movie. We watched Alien Romulus. And I got so sick during the movie for some reason. I don't know what the heck was going on. Like bad. And I was like, I'm going to do a show yesterday, and it was like, this is not going to happen. So I was just like, let me just get to the Bleacher Report stream, and I'm going to leave it there. But it was like, all right, I had to start watching Washington to come up with a good show idea. I had to start seeing what they were about. So I didn't even see the end of the Tampa Bay game live. Like, I was asleep halfway through the dang game. I watched like none of that live. So all of it for me was through rewatch, and I got a sense of what they were about. And I think that after listening to Dan Campbell talk about that team, like it more so kind of cemented my thoughts on that team of what Washington is. And man, they're a very well-coached team. Like, it's a very well-coached team. Their quarterback doesn't play like a rookie because he doesn't make many mistakes. Now, he makes some rookie mistakes. The mistakes that he has made that I've seen so far, they look like some rookie mistakes. But it's not like, if you watch Denver play Buffalo, you watch Bo Nix look like a darn rookie out there. Like when it was starting along, it was like, all right, he doesn't look like he knows where to go with the football. Doesn't look like they're finding answers. But he doesn't give you easy turnovers. He has a very low turnover worthy rate play. And I'll actually show you the stats on this. I'll show you the graphics that I put together for that show. You can still check that show out. Still worth it. I have more clips that I'm actually going to show today because I didn't show many clips when I was live. I'm going to show some plays today, kind of give you an early sense of what I've taken away. But if you do look at the numbers on it, this is what stands out to me is this. That's Commanders' defense. That's the wrong thing. Commanders' offense. It is right, where is it at? Right here with Daniels. Turnover-worthy play rate, third best in football. It's less than 2% of the time. Now, big-time throw rate, that's low. Schematically speaking, they put him in a lot of comfortable situations. They don't put a ton on his plate, right? They don't ask him to make some ridiculous decisions. But there's a lot of fast decisions within their offense. There's a lot of really good spacing. And there's a lot of, from what I've seen so far within 2 games, man, there's diversity with this team. Like, you might think it's kind of the same. You think Jane Daniels are thinking, all right, everything's a zone read. Everything's a run-pass option. But it's not. Like, they're very diverse. And when I heard Dan Campbell touch on that, it kind of cemented what I had seen is, like, you got a team one week who plays Tampa, and you get all these counter runs, and you're getting these 2-pull looks, and you're getting different versions of their reads, which makes it tough because they'll set up their zone reads through the interior, through the outside. They'll pick on different players. They utilize their tight end a ton within the run game, not just as, like, oh, my tight end's block, but it's how much they utilize them motion pre-snap. All right, split zone looks, utilizing him in the reads where it's like sometimes he'll just leak it to the flat. Now he's a pass option. And if you look at their weapons, if I just throw their depth chart up there, you wouldn't be blown away by the weapons that they have. Zacchaeus is their number 2 receiver. And he gets less production than Zach Ertz, who's been a dog. It's crazy. But Zach Ertz, he's their number 2 receiver, as I show right here. It's Terry McLaurin, it's Zach Ertz, and then it's just they have a lot of different pieces that get involved. They utilize their running backs a ton in the pass game, but their rushing attack is very diverse. It's unique to who they play. It's diverse because of Jaden Daniels, but they're not kind of the same thing over and over. And I think when you look at the personnel they have, it doesn't always match when you also see the production that they get. Because I don't think their offensive line is great. I think you even see it, like they could have some real problems. I think you see it, we'll show when I get to the clips here in a second. The simulated pressure looks become a very big problem, but Jaden Daniels gets the ball out fast. He gets the ball really fast. He's not throwing in the traffic a ton. For the most part, he takes care of it, and they utilize his legs, I think, to help protect him a little bit and create really good spacing offensively and create designed rollouts to help protect him. And, man, he makes quick decisions. Like, this is one of those dudes where you get to the early of watching him, it's like, all right, he pretty much picks up on what coverage you're going to very fast. Where the problems come into play is like when maybe he doesn't know who's rushing on the play, and then he rushes something because there is pressure and he throws it into the traffic. But in terms of just like being able to recognize the coverage that he's getting pre and post snap, if it's pretty static, he's pretty good at that. He makes pretty good decisions of like, all right, I got to get here with it. Jody's in the chat. Hey, Dose, glad all is well. Haven't seen you in a few days. Yeah, hey, look, I'm glad you're here. Like I said, I wanted to do something on Monday. I literally couldn't do a dang thing on Monday. I was like, all right, I just got to get this Bleacher Report show out. But if you are ever looking for extra content Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays throughout the offseason, I'm going to have tons of shows over there on Bleacher Report as well. So if I don't have something over here, look over there because I probably had something that I posted. If you just want some content, probably something went down over there. Jaden Daniels is surely easier to defend than Josh Allen. I think so. 100% easier. Now, there's similarities, right? They can both cause problems, but I think that he's... Now, here's actually the interesting thing. I'm glad you say that. That's actually good, because I was going to bring up the running backs. When you look at the receiving core, it's not outstanding. Terry McLaurin's awesome. This guy, anytime he's one-on-one, you're a little bit worried that he might go make a play. But outside of that, they utilize the running backs a ton, and they have good running backs for the pass game. McNichols, Robinson, Brian's a little bit more of the rushing attack piece, but then also Austin Eckler's always been a good receiving back, so they use that a ton, where there'll be times where it's like a passing down, and they'll put two running backs on the field, and you're like, all right, that's kind of weird, but they're both involved in the run game. They're both involved in the passing attack, so when I watch this team, this is one of those teams, because even without Ben Sinnott being very involved as a tight end, they use Bates a little bit more, and Zach Ertz, and two running backs. I would match them with nickel a lot. Because I don't feel they look to take advantage of, like, let's see if we can run the football because we have this different personnel and they're trying to play like with extra DBs. Like, I don't think they take advantage of that. I think that's just where their weapons are. And it's like, okay, that's how they take advantage of it. They're super diverse, and that's where their weapons come into play is they have it at every position. It's not really loaded at receiver. They use running backs. They use tight ends. That's cool, man. That's who they are. That's how they're built. But I definitely don't think Jaden Daniels is Josh Allen. One, he's not him as a runner. Now, in terms of design runs, I don't think either of them leave on them very heavily. But yeah, he's not him as a runner. The 40-pound thing, I mean, look, Jaden Daniels got blown up on one of his runs, and he will do that. Now, hey, credit to him, he keeps going back out there, and he keeps playing, but he'll get blown up. I don't think he's that as runner. He's got good vision from what I've seen. Like, he's not a close his eyes kind of guy running to the line, but he's not the same kind of thing as a runner as Josh Allen from that in terms of a threat. And then, obviously, he doesn't maybe have some of the gifts as just like, man, this guy's got a rocket on his arm, that kind of thing. But I will say that he's super accurate, and he makes a lot of good decisions when he gets outside of the pocket. I think that, honestly, like, some of the problems that we had against Josh, again, to me, wasn't Josh Allen as much as that was our own doing and us kind of breaking down a little bit. I almost feel like the Bills kind of lean into more of that style more than what I've seen with the Commanders so far. Like, when I watch the Bills, I feel like the Bills kind of lean into, like, hey, Josh Allen's amazing. Like, let's let him do a lot of these things. I feel like with Jaden, they kind of take that off his plate a little bit, and they're like, hey, he's capable of this, and we'll use it at certain times. But I don't think that they force that into who they are, which I think is great as an offense. Like, as a rookie, you don't want to put everything on Jaden's plate. Be like, hey, go do everything here. It's not going to work. He'll probably get hurt. He's not really built like that. So I think they do a great job of not forcing everything on his plate, and they just allow him to be a very smart player that has capabilities where it's like when they get inside of 20, Jaden Daniels becomes a threat. As soon as they get inside of 20, Jaden Daniels' legs becomes a massive threat. But it's like throughout the rest of the offense, it's not consistently that. So I think it's definitely different from that side. I put some of the stats up here offensively, and then I also put some of his defensive stats. So I want to get to the clips. Because, again, these are graphics that you can find. I posted these on Wednesday or on Monday. But I want to go to the clips right away. Because some of these things, I got to watch more and I got to learn more. And then I'll learn more and I'll see other things there. Some of these things, maybe they're just are what they are. I think defensively, some of the things kind of are what they are. They are who they are. And I think you see it by the defensive stats here. Like, the one that I would circle on the stat sheet, almost 82% of the time, they have single high coverage, right? That's the 9th highest in football this season. And I think that's probably going to be what plays out. It's what I've seen so far. A lot of cover 1, a lot of cover 3, a lot of cover 3 match. I think that's kind of who they are in the back end. The weird thing is they don't grade out that well in terms of coverage, like the analytics and PFF will say that. but they don't ever look bad to me in the back end. Like, you'll get some occasional breakdowns. I don't think they have like matchup pieces everywhere in the back end, but I think they're smart. Like, Mikey Sainristil still can get beat, right? You can beat him at wide corner. I would love to see Sainristil still try to match up with Jameson. I just think that would be a disaster for them. At least once, that's going to lead to massive play. Like, if they try to let that be a thing, I think at some point in the game you're getting like, okay, big play. He's just gonna burn him, and they're gonna have to send some help. But at the same time, knowing this defensive staff, I don't think they're going to allow that to be the case very often. I don't think they would allow that matchup to just be a thing. So I think they do a pretty good job avoiding that. But if that becomes a thing, I think it would be a disaster for him. Lattimore was cooked against Tampa Bay. He looked like the worst cornerback on the field. I think Marshawn's gonna be on Jamo. He looked like the worst cornerback that they had in that last game that they played specifically. He was just getting destroyed in that one. But yeah, to me, they don't have like matchup pieces at corner, but they're pretty well rounded from what I've seen so far. Even Noah Igbenogany doesn't look terrible. I don't think he's great in terms of off the press, but he doesn't look bad. He's a really good athlete too, and he sticks with guys vertically. I just don't think he's great at the press. They all have some little things there. Sainristil's never been a vertical threat kind of guy, but he's always been a very smart corner. There was a play that I watched, and I don't have it in here, and we're about to go to the clips. There was a play that I watched of Sainristil where they tried to like run I think it was Atlanta. They tried to run like a pick play with him, so they had like two clear out routes. They tried to like run a wheel route underneath, and he like dropped off his guy, and he picked it up, and he almost came up with an interception. It was crazy. It was like, man, that looked like it was not open at all. And then I pulled it back, and I'm like, well, it wasn't supposed to be open, but Sanders still kind of just smelled it out. Like, he was like, I know what's coming. I'm going to jump on that. And it's like, all right, they're pretty smart in the back end. They have a good safety. Look, man, their safeties are nice. Jeremy Chinn's, obviously, he is a pretty good athlete. We know that. And then they also have Martin back there. And Martin's one of the guys I'd circle. Martin feels like that dude that could take the ball away. And him being the guy as constantly the free safety and all these single high looks, he's the guy that like feels like he could be overly aggressive, and maybe you could take advantage of that. Maybe that's the way that you get him to just bite and then he gets something over top. But he's definitely seemed like going to be a guy that's going to be kind of like looking to jump some routes. So if you throw it across his face early in this game, my assumption is he's going to try to jump something. And maybe he does, maybe take advantage of that. But that's what I get the early sense of. But I'll have to see more to get a full take on that. Because, again, I'm going to still do my full preview. This is just my first look, my first thoughts from what I've seen so far of this team. So let me show some clips. First thoughts, show some clips of kind of what I'm saying, and maybe some things that stand out. This will be the first thing. This is like I talked about. So giving up pressure just by simulated pressure. There's a -10 stuck on like all these clips. I don't know why. But their pass protection is not great. And it's not even just like an isolated thing, even though I think it kind of is. Like, Brandon Coleman's dealing with an injury at left tackle. He's not great one-on-one. It's not great when Tyler Biotish is back. He's not great. Like, I don't think they're great one-on-one across the board, Wiley. But this is, I think, actually their biggest problem is picking up simulated pressure looks. You don't know who's coming, who's dropping out of the play. In this case, Brandon Coleman with a linebacker. Running back steps in. Brandon Coleman doesn't pick him up. You got a free rusher, and that gives up a sack. That's kind of a thing with this offense. Is like that seems to be where the biggest problems come from, is just simply communication. They just don't pick up guys, especially when you work the left side. If you work Nick Allegretti, is that Allegretti? I don't know how you pronounce the dude's name. If you work their left guard, like, I would work the heck out of that left side. From what I've seen so far, I would be sending dudes dropping out. I'd make it messy as heck on the left side of the offensive line. I'd make it messy over there. I'd try to make it messy over there because I just don't trust that they're going to pick those things up consistently. So that would be one of my first plans, is that. Plus, you can even see on this first play, their running back, Robinson, from what I've seen so far, is not great in pass pro either. All right? Now, maybe that's just I haven't seen enough. But this guy does not seem to be great in pass pro. Does not seem to be reliable. I wish I felt like our linebackers were elite blitzers, because I don't. But I think that watching this, I'm like, yeah, we could probably get some wins there. Jack could go get a win there. We could go get some wins there. I would also be looking at some slot blitzing. If you watched LA last night, against Tampa, slot blitzing was a huge part of that. And, man, they were bringing some DBs. They just had no answer for it. The downside is, of course, again, I think this is how they help themselves. There's not a lot of under center stuff. They're not like Minnesota that will go under center a ton and allow you to do things like that. Usually Jane Daniels gets kind of the full picture right at the line of scrimmage, and they utilize motion a ton to help him out. Let me check on the chat real quick, because I haven't in a second. Get up 2 scores, run the ball well. Yeah, if that's the case, I think that's clearly the path to blowing this team out. Like, if there's a path to winning by a lot, covering the spread that's been laid out pretty large, it's getting up early on this team, because that's just not really, like, personnel-wise, it's not going to be great for them. I think they're a very efficient offense, and, man, they'll lull you to sleep. They'll win time of possession. They'll go 4 or 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, and it's like, oh, my gosh. Like, are we going to get off the field against this team? And situationally, they're pretty darn awesome. Like, they're pretty good situationally. Let me get the exact numbers on that here. Let me double check, because I have them for both sides of the ball. But yeah, Commanders, let me go to the Commanders offense. Commanders offense on third down, sixth best in football. Fourth down, first in football, although they only are middle of the pack in attempts. I guess they whip for it a lot against Tampa Bay. And then red zone, they're sixth best in football. So yeah, they're pretty great situationally. So, man, they're going to do that to you. So yeah, get them behind the chains. This is one of those teams where it's like, if you do that, you're probably getting them out the field. Like a holding call might derail an entire drive. Something like that. But yeah, if you get up, that's your path to blowing this team out. Otherwise, I feel like it's going to be real interesting throughout, because they're like one of those teams coaching-wise that feels like they're going to have a counterpunch for something. They're going to have some kind of answer. They're going to find something, because that's the only way that this team has 13 wins, it feels like. I mean, they don't have that much turnover from last year where it's like, yeah, that makes sense that they have 13 wins. They're coached really well, man. They're coached really well. And yeah, Jaden Daniels is a dog. He's a dog. All right, we don't get PI calls, but we always open and getting catches. And now I'd also say this, too, from that point. We always get open. We have the best receiving core in the NFL against man, and the numbers back it up big time. Well, Goff also delivers it, but it's like, yo, we have had the best team against man coverage this season, statistically speaking. By far, it's crazy. It's crazy. Took me into the city. My man, Easy. I see you. Hey, I appreciate you being here, man. This is where, shout out to Speak Easy, man. They just got done with their show. This is where, once again, Anzalone will make a huge difference. Anzalone was a dog last week. I think Dan Campbell hit on that on Monday with some of the read stuff. I'm going to show you some of that here in a second. But that was the first play, just one of those simulated looks. Again, we can kind of pick up another one here. Just watch it, right? Simulated pressure. You don't know who's coming. Linebacker, who's coming, who's dropping on the play. You stack the line. This is, of course, also what plays into that, getting them behind the chains. One holding call makes this possible, right? That kind of thing. And then you can see on the left side, they just don't pick up they're only bringing a 4-man rush. They don't pick it up. And immediately it cuts the field in half for Jaden Daniels, which is a problem because he gets to see the full field constantly pre-snap. And as soon as look, he uses his eyes really well. Like, that's what I'm saying. In terms of like the back end, he does a really nice job at kind of recognizing what the coverage is. Seems to have a really good understanding of tendency of opponents. So I don't think it'll be, I don't know that from what I've seen so far, and I could be wrong, I'll have to see more, that it's going to be constantly him confused. I don't know if you'll confuse him over and over in terms of coverages, and I also don't think that's typically the Lions' bread and butter is like, let's confuse teams. I don't think that they always lean it, like against Sam, I didn't think they leaned into like, let's confuse him, he doesn't know what coverage we're in. It was just like, all right, we're just going to have these moving pieces back, and you don't know what type of man we're playing. And I'm sure we're going to play a lot of man. We play it more than anybody, so I'm sure we'll play it again this one. So he'll know that that's that, but he'll know where he wants to get to with the football, right? So what can you cause up front, to me, is the disaster for this team. And that's where disaster can strike, because now you cut the field in half, all of a sudden he doesn't have any options, and now he's forced to throw it away. Because typically he completes a very high percentage of his passes. Aren't they 28th versus the run? Be stubborn. They are very bad against the run statistically. Yeah, I can show the numbers again after this. Do you think Meek locks down Terry? Meek seems motivated. Do I think he locks him down? Probably not, because I think they'll force feed him a little bit, and I don't think we'll play him like as much help as we did with Jefferson. So I think Terry will get his. But at the same time, in fairness, like, if I was playing this team, it's very clearly like Terry's the number one, and it's like, okay, beyond that, who is? And with how much man we play, a Meek on Terry probably, right? And then that puts Terry on Zacchaeus. That's the matchup I would circle. I want to see how that plays out, right? Terrion in that spot, because Zacchaeus has done so much after the catch. I always love our corners and tackling. They do a lot of screens. They'll mix those in too. So, like, from that sense, Zacchaeus, to me, when I watch him, like, Mr. Run After Catch, that's what I feel like when I watch the guy. Like, Terrion in that kind of spot. And then, of course, Alex on a guy like Zach Ertz, or potentially one of our safeties on Zach Ertz. I tend to like that matchup. Like, I said this on Monday. I think personnel-wise, I like a lot of matchups. De'Ami Brown's solid. De'Ami Brown's solid. Another run after catch dude. Another run after catch. Big run after catch guy. A lot of those dudes across the board. I feel like when I look at them personnel-wise, I like our matchups a lot of spots. Offense and D, especially on the offense. I like them in a lot of spots. But I think they're coached so well that you're not going to see breakdowns left and right defensively. I'd be pretty surprised. I've seen them occasionally, but typically, like, even when I saw a breakdown in this Atlanta game, I see a similar look later, and they just blow it up. So I don't think you're going to see that constantly in this one. And I think on the other side of the ball, you're going to see them potentially have some beaters occasionally. You're going to see some beaters where it's like, oh, man, that was a really good concept. They got that dude wide open. You'll probably get a handful of those. I'm sure we'll get a handful of those in this game, because they're really good at that. Now, we get to some of these read looks for the quarterback, and I just want to show, like, I didn't do a great job of it because I didn't want to show that many clips. I just want to kind of show there's a lot of versatility. And obviously, like I said, once they get inside of 20 here, high red zone, inside of 30, once they get to these spots, the quarterback becomes a huge part. But the thing that is huge with me is they have that ability to kind of pick and choose different guys that they want to make the read guy, right? And this time on the interior, like they have that. That was Kalijah Cansey. That dude's an athlete. But that's one of the versatility, things that they have to offer is they can kind of pick and choose. They also do a lot of these power runs with the quarterback read too. In this case, now this was much more, I think, relevant against Tampa Bay than I saw maybe in other games that I've seen so far. But the RPO game, you can see how much it kind of opens up access, and pulling offensive linemen is a big part of their game, which is also leaves openings. Like, this is great because it gets the ball out fast. He's not holding on the ball long. You get a quick slant. Linebackers paying attention to the run. You go right behind it into the window. The downside, of course, is there's windows to get after the quarterback. So there's definitely, I think, an acceptance to a point of like, all right, we're not great up front. We're going to give up some rushers at times. Teams can kind of beat us there. So it's things like get the ball up fast. It's move the pocket. It's get Jaden the heck out of there and throw the ball fast. Like that's what they seemingly play into a lot, because as soon as it becomes a game where he has to hold the ball, things seemingly kind of fall apart for a very efficient offense, which again, creating negatives early is going to be a lot there. Now, I didn't really focus on if I'm showing good or bad runs. They're a top rushing team in football. Part of that's Jaden Daniels averages 6 yards a carry this year. Okay, that plays into it. The guy's been amazing when he rushes the football. He's got like almost 900 rushing yards, but they average 5 as a team, 150 yards per game. So you still give credit to their backs there. Again, they're a loaded running back room. I don't think their offensive line's fantastic, but they're super diverse. And you can see here, doesn't look fantastic. Tyler Biotish kind of lost the block there. That thing gets blown up, turns it to a read. And then here's the vision. I mean, this thing doesn't look like it should have anything here. It's like, all right, got him. And then here goes Jaden Daniels. The vision's really good, right? He's not going to be running over dudes like Josh Allen, but the vision's great. Makes a good decision with the ball. And you can just see all the variety that they can lean into here. This time with the gap scheme a little bit more. There's kind of the counter pull set up. They have the read attached off of it. It gets blown up. They're attacking. One thing I like from Tampa was the defensive back splitzing. Like I talked about the slot things that we saw from the Rams. Like this kind of thing was very helpful to create negatives, and I think that while there's the downside of the ball might come out and then you get yourself into trouble, big play that way, and you don't want to necessarily give them big plays, sometimes it may be worth taking that risk. And I think knowing Aaron Glenn, he typically leads inside of let's be a little more aggressive than anything. Let's try to get them backwards. And I just see a team like this, and I see a play like that. It just screams that's Aaron Glenn. Here comes Brian Branch out the slot. Safety steps down. Like that screams that's going to be Aaron Glenn in this game. That would just be my assumption. So I'm sure early we're going to get a quick run pass option. We're going to get a quick slant that they're going to try to hit because it's gotten us before. But I almost guarantee that's going to be a lot of Aaron Glenn in this game, because he's going to come out swinging because he wants that team backed up, and they're going to see how it plays out. Now the flip side is, and I just want to show really one run play type here. Toss plays, pin pulls. I love the toss leads. Like, toss plays constantly felt like the biggest issue for this team. From what I've seen so far, this felt like the biggest problem for them to deal with. Any sort of a toss play. And, Louisville, you got Wagner. Some of these you'll get the cornerback that steps in. Some of these is kind of more back-end breakdowns. But this seemed to be a massive problem for them. I think, one, linebacker side of the sideline, maybe not their biggest strength athletically. Bobby Wagner's been amazing. Probably not their biggest strength, though, athletically there. And this has just seemingly given them the biggest problem so far this season. Linemen hitting the second level. Defensive backs maybe not filling their run gaps properly, and they pop runs off of it. And this has just been a constant theme. And I'm just going to show some examples that just kind of let it run. Right or left. I'm going to let it run for a second. Now, hey, real quick, hey, hold up. Ronald Barnes with a 20-piece? What? I appreciate you. Enjoyed your show for a while, contributing for growth. Lions are demoting the Commander Saturday. Man, I appreciate you, Ronald. Thank you, man. I appreciate your 20-piece, man. I like your picture. I like the wallpaper. Let's get some birthday cakes in the chat for my man Ronald with the 20. I appreciate you, Spencer. Thank you for the birthday cakes. Shout out to Ronald, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing the love, man. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, look, man, for me with the run stuff, and I just want to let some of these plays just roll. I will say this, though, right? Look at a couple of defense players. Sheldon Day's been playing a lot. That's been a little bit messy when he's been out there. So when he's out there, go at him. There seems to be a lot. I gotta get for this is not a preview prediction. I gotta see more of this. But it does feel like there's a lot of rotationalism that happens with this front. But Sheldon Day seemed to have problems. Now I will say, these are their defense. Johnny Newton, when he's gotten in there, he's actually been pretty impactful. I don't know that he's played enough. I would keep an eye on Newton when he gets into the game. But Armstrong has been kind of the dog for me. Armstrong has been that dude where it's like he'll make plays against the run and the pass. He would be the guy that I kind of circle as like an underrated element of who they are defensively, especially against the run. Dante Fowler, probably their best pass rush piece consistently. He's an athlete, but obviously you see here you can run at him, right? You can push him out of the play a little bit, so you can see that. But at the same time, like yeah. Run defense, kind of messy. Pass rush, he gives them some real juice there. And if you look at them, they're a top blitzing team in football. They just don't create a ton of pressure. They're middle of the pack, below average, creating pressure, but they do blitz. They will bring it. And to me, I don't think I put the plays in here. I think I showed more of them one day, but we could talk through it. When you watch where they blitz through the second level a lot. Linebackers, Luvu's a very good blitzer. I think Bobby Wagner's a good blitzer. I think it plays to their strengths well. And then they'll utilize guys like Fowler who are good athletes. Drop them into coverage like you can see here. And they'll give you this different, they'll go 3-3-5 fronts like this. They play a ton of nickel. So you'll get a lot of 3-3-5, 2-4-5 looks. So because that, you'll get a lot of diversity and like, all right, here comes Luvu. We'll drop. I don't think this is one of those plays, but you'll get things like that, and then we'll drop out a Fowler. So you'll get some flexibility there. They bring their rushers from the interior a lot between Wagner and Luvu, and I think it leans into their success because they are a pretty heavy blitzing team, and we'll show it. And because of how much single high coverage they play, cover 1, cover 3 match, they get a lot of one-on-ones anyway. So I think for them, they're okay with bringing an extra rusher because they know, hey, man, we don't got a ton of pressure pieces. So some of it's similar to us. Now, we don't play as much, cover 3, I would say, but some of it's similar to us. Like, hey, what's the point? We don't need multiple guys in the back end all the time. We'll just bring an extra rusher. They do a lot of 5-man rushing. It's not like Minnesota, they constantly bring 6. They'll bring 5, and we're just going to play some one-on-one in the back end. And it's like, okay, they don't have an elite back end, but they're pretty well-rounded. So it's not like, from what I've seen so far, one guy's gotten picked on. Outside of watching Mike Evans kind of just cook Lattimore, like that doesn't seem to happen very often. And they're versatile. Jeremy Chinn's good safety, and the linebackers cover pretty well. So, like, I think there are some similarities defensively to who we are as well. And now this one wasn't a great one because there was a read attached to this, but this would be one of your outside zone looks. You can see the movement that you can create at the point of attack. I think the truth said it earlier, run the ball, be stubborn with it. I agree. I think that'll definitely be the Lions' plan, is to be stubborn with the run game. It doesn't mean they can't get stops, but I'm sure that that's what the immediate approach is going to be. Move this team around. You can see it right here at Sheldon Day. Wagner fills through, but you can just see the movement they're creating across the board here. And this is one of those 3-3-5 looks that I touched on, right? 3 guys, and then Fowler, or in this case, it's not even Fowler on the stand-up there, but there's one of those 3-3-5s. You can see the movement you create, tight ends moving guys off the ball. You can do that. Now, in the passing attack, just for a couple plays here, I don't even know what I put in here, but just to show a couple. Well, this is Lattimore getting cooked, so I did throw that in here. They tend to run, this kind of this cover 3, like I said, that match coverage a handful of times. They will run that, so it leaves opportunities for one-on-ones on the outside. That's kind of the big thing, is you can create those 2-man like outside concepts. Like some teams will run like the slot flayed hitches. You could create like 2-man concepts outside inside. I think that works. Like here you can see the number 3 receiver. This was like a straight up design to just kind of peel out. So if they're playing 3 match, he's got to carry vertical. The way that we would do it, he would carry vertical, pass it off to the free safety when it breaks inside. There's a certain depth to that. And then obviously the number 3 can go find the back. In this case, he's not really in the spot to do that. He's going to pass it to the free safety as it goes vertical here as a hook curl. So when you do that, they peel out the 2 outside defenders. They break the outbreaker here. It puts the safety on him. Now you have leverage towards the outside. So things like that, it's just a straight beater for what they do coverage-wise. And, understanding Ben, like, the downside is you get a lot more matchups, so it's harder to find just, like, massive windows because typically somebody's always, like, going to be near the guy that's catching the ball because they always have somebody matched up in that zone. But no, Ben Johnson, he's going to do a great job with finding some beautiful beaters occasionally in this game, and we'll see if they change it up a ton. From what I've gotten so far, they seem to definitely change it up more on offense than they do on defense. Defense seems to be kind of a little more straightforward. Offense seems to be a little bit more creative and like, all right, let's change some things for real here. But, I think the premise is always the same offense. Like, hey, we want to get the ball out, we'll move the pocket. Jaden can be a part of the run, especially when we get to the red zone. And we're going to have a diverse run scheme. But defense seems to be a little more straightforward. Like, we're a single high team. That's how we're going to play. We're going to be kind of aggressive. And then, as I pointed out, linebackers are going to rush. We're going to simulate. We're going to drop out our edge defenders. And on a play like this, we're getting that man coverage. Again, Marshawn Lattimore kind of got cooked in this game. If we're keeping it, Marshawn Lattimore was going through it in this game. I don't know what Marshawn Lattimore looked like there was corner. And that's not what I expected. I knew that it was like a battle during the game. But I was like, yeah, he looks like the worst cornerback on the field. It's crazy. Sonic and Knuckles, zoom, zoom. So those are just some of the clips. Again, it's the first look. I have a lot more. I have like 50 saved. But I want to save some of those for the preview when we ultimately drop that. I didn't want to get into everything here. But I guess I could have. I guess I could have gotten more here. But I just want to save it. I know we're talking on offense yet. Washington is 27th run defense. We were 4th. So yeah, I can show their... I'll show their run defense stats right here. Now, this was... I put these together yesterday, so there's a chance that some of these did update, but I'll show them on the screen because I see people talking about... Charles is in the building. I see you, Charles. Yeah, here's the run defense stats as of yesterday, at least. 4.8 yards a carry. Yeah, 28th, 30th in yards per game. It's crazy that the rushing attack is so much better. It's about 20 yards better. It's crazy. Well, 15 yards better. 28th in run defense grade. So if we're going to that based on Pro Football Focus, 20th, 28th, they're 20th in expected. They're below average in everything run defense. I think it makes sense. I just don't think they have the personnel consistently, especially when you start to rotate guys. I don't think they have the guys up front to be super consistent there. I think there's a lot of spots against our offense line. If Zeitler plays, Zeitler will be a big one, right? If Zeitler doesn't play, now you go to an interior that Daron Payne is definitely a flash player. He'll rotate a lot, but if Daron Payne can go, and I would assume he's going to go this week because, he had the finger injury on Sunday, so I would assume he's going to play. Daron Payne, he's a flash player. You get Newton mixed in a little bit there. Like, they have some dudes on the interior. Without Zeitler, maybe they could get some, wins occasionally there. Their pass defense is weird statistically because you can see they allow a very low completion percentage, which, again, is to the point that I made. So this kind of says everything. If you're giving up a 62% completion percentage, it's kind of comes back to this. Look at man, less than 60%, because it's you can see the splits here. In zone, they allow the lowest completion percentage in zone coverage. Well, they do a lot of match zone. So based on how the website's tracking this, I assume that they're saying that their zone is still the matching stuff. Well, that allows a very low completion percentage because typically someone's still matched up. In man versus zone splits, usually man allows a much lower completion percentage. So to me, that's why that looks like it does, because they're not giving you big windows. They're not just giving you, little routes that you could just pick up yards. I think that you can create check down opportunities because, one, I want to make Bobby Wagner chase guys. I'd be okay with that. I think you can create those flood things, get him out wide, make him chase things in the flat. I think you can do that. But second and third level, they're always going to have someone typically matched up, right? They're not going to give you those windows. So I think that's why the completion percentage is so low there. But you also notice, 190 yards per game, that's fifth lowest in football. Second lowest passing attempts against. Probably comes back to these numbers because the run defense isn't great. And if you're playing 82% of the time single-eye coverage and your run defense still looks like this, that's probably an issue. All right, that probably speaks to their inability to stop the run. Jeremy Chin is built to play the run. That's probably a problem up front, just in terms of the way that they match up. I think that says it all. And then, pass rush grade, middle of the pack. You can see this is their pressure percentage, 22.6, but their blitz rate is the fifth most in football. And then situationally, it's not like offense. Situationally, they're not the same. Middle of the pack, third down, which isn't bad, 38%. Fourth down's kind of a mess. See if the Lions try to take advantage of that. And then red zone's below average as well. It's better, though. Like, based on all the numbers that you see, I would say that those stats aren't bad. Those stats aren't bad situationally. Third down, that kind of thing. The Washington defense is terrible, and they have no run game. They have no run defense because they do have a little bit of a run game. They have a little bit of a run game. They have a run game. Now, that's it. Again, Jane Daniels has a major impact in that. I even put his stats on here, 6 yards per carry. He pulls that a lot his direction. But I think that their run game, again, I think what makes it so tough is that they seemingly, from what I've seen so far, are very game plan specific. They're not like the same thing over and over. And anytime you have a quarterback like Daniels that they can continuously mix up, like, all right, who's responsible for who, right? Is he going to crash and he's got to scrape over top? Then what happens when he gets picked up? Like, I didn't show him in this play or in today's live stream. I should have. But the amount of tight end usage is a huge part of their run game. It's huge. It throws off responsibilities. You constantly have to deal with Zach Ertz. Now here comes the run-pass option attached. And because they're so diverse up front, and they do have some good athletes up there, and they constantly attach their tight end to everything, there's a lot of confusion that it causes up front. So I think that's where they get it to the run game. Again, to be personnel, it's not loaded. Eckler's good. Robinson's good. But it's not loaded up there. It's just that they are very deep in the run game. And when you watch a team like Tampa Bay, they didn't even look like the same rushing team they did against Tampa Bay as they did against Atlanta. Some of those clips that I showed, they look completely different. It's all right, there's a different plan here. There's something a little bit different to this. But yeah, those numbers I think are definitely inflated. But I think they can run the football because they're super diverse. And yeah, it's gonna stress the heck out of our backers. It's a great week to have Duracell back. And like I said, I do expect that Glenn's gonna be bringing some slot blitzing. He's gonna be stepping in extra bodies to play the run a little bit. That'd be my assumption. That's what they're gonna do. The Lions are gonna sell out a little bit to try to blow that thing up. I want to make sure there wasn't anything else here. Play action rate, okay. Blitz rate. This was interesting because when blitzed, some of his numbers did drop a little bit. His PFF grade 20th in the NFL when blitzed. Turnover worthy play percentage did jump up a little bit when blitzed. It's nothing significant though, so I don't think those numbers tell you like just blitz him and he's a disaster. But it is something that's interesting. Again, I'm sure Glenn will lean into that. Can Hooker simulate Jane RPO? Yeah, I think so. I don't see why. I mean, look, that's something to prepare for sure. Again, it's not like Lamar and Derek where that'd be like my whole, all right, this is everything, guys. But because there's going to be more to, like, it's not every run play is going to be that. But yes, like he absolutely should because it's going to be more so about filling assignments. Now, when the play breaks down, we see Jane Nails turn around and take off. It's like, all right, well, that's, you kind of throw everything out the window, just go get the guy. But like in terms of like this is your gap, and then when the tight end comes across. Now, when you step down and he picks up the tight end, now this guy has a scrape. Okay, here comes the opposite backer. Like, in terms of just filling gaps, that's something that you can definitely simulate. You could probably simulate that without Hendon Hooker. You probably simulate that with Goff, just like walk through it, that kind of thing. Full speed, you probably want to use Hooker for something like that. Maybe just put a running back there. You know, whatever it is. And then you have to attach the RPO to it, and it's like, all right, now you got to deal with the tight end. Now you take the tight end. Now he's got to step over, take that gap. And that's where throwing an extra body will be a huge part of that. Throwing an extra body in there, Brian Branch will probably be a lot of that. But I don't think there's anything else we got to throw in here from the numbers respect. 20-second pass block grade, kind of hit on that. I know I spelled this dude's name wrong. Olamide? Yeah, I spelled that wrong. I'm looking at that now. There's no way that's right. Olamide? Yeah, that's not right. I mean, it could be, but it doesn't look right. I'll be honest. Okay, it doesn't look. I've typed it in yet. These were all made yesterday, so that might be a disaster. But yeah, I'll leave that there, man. That's your first look at the Commanders. Let me see if I got any notes that I want to hit on because I did put some pages of notes together and I didn't type them up here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think there's anything on there that needs to be showed. A lot of run after catch. Kind of touched on that. Like, man, they even ran some reverses, too. Like, this was a team that ran, like, some wildcat. There's a couple direct snaps. I was like, all right, there's some creativity with the run game here. Talked about their tight ends in the run game a little bit. Quick passing attack, the timing of their offense. Let me see if I can actually show that play. I had that play, I think, on my phone. Let me see if I can. I should have shown more of their coverage plays, I think. That's what I should have done. Let me see. I should have showed more of those. Because I could have. Thing is, when playing against Jaden Daniels, his rush lanes, getting him in third and long, man, it's going to be hard because that's why they're smart. Like, they don't play themselves into getting into those spots. They don't run a lot of plays that would get them behind the chains. Outside of flags, the ball gets out too fast. He's a quick processor, and, they run the football. So it's like, I think it's difficult to get them behind the chains because I don't think they give you tons of opportunities. One stat I haven't looked up is how many sacks he's taken this season. I wonder if anybody has that stat. Because based on what I've seen, it's like, all right, you would assume it would be a lot. But there's probably not because he seemingly isn't really in a position to give up a ton of sacks. And to me, that's back to coaching. But I would assume that number is pretty low. Let me see. I had the timing one. I think I'm going to send that over. I appreciate you. Sack the pack. Oh, I see you. Okay, I didn't even realize that's what your name was. I see you. Lions got this. Man, I'm confident too. I'm confident too, man. I believe. Yeah, look, man, and and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I won't call it a simple offense because I didn't think Buffalo was that deep. I thought Buffalo was lighter than this. I think Buffalo had less creativity than this. To me, this is a more creative run scheme than Buffalo had. Buffalo had the little 4x1 set that they would run. They had some goofiness there, but I thought Buffalo was a lot less creative than this. I just think Buffalo's got a crazy dude at quarterback, and we didn't handle it well. But I think this passing attack it's a better drop back passing attack to me than a team like Buffalo. Like, if that's the game that they have to play, I think they're more consistent there. But we'll see, because from what I got through so far, it's a lot of kind of early, like, static. Okay, they're not moving. I kind of get a good sense where I should go with the football, that kind of thing. But I'm definitely look. This is a team that I was hoping we'd end up with. One, I think it's a great matchup to play this team first. He got 47 sacks. That's a lot. That's actually a lot. Okay, say maybe you can. This is good because if we played a team like this and say Philly beats LA, that'd be an awesome setup. You know what I mean? That'd be an awesome setup to go into this and then play a team like Philly. Some of those things are going to carry over into the very next week. They'll just have a lot better pieces, but I think they'll have a worse passer. You know what I mean? So like that's something. You know what I mean? So Again, I'm gonna save some of these clips. Let me not try to do all this live because I got too many of them. I'll save that. The game's on Saturday. I'll probably have my preview out Thursday. I'm gonna probably aim for Thursday. I'll try tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know if that'll happen, but Thursday I'll probably aim for. We struggle with mobile quarterbacks. He did. He said everybody struggles against mobile quarterbacks. He's like, show me the team that does well against mobile quarterbacks. Basically. But he's right. He's right. It was like dealing with a quarterback that could take off and run. Yeah. Look, and here's the thing. Like, I think everything needs context. I didn't think the Buffalo game was like, oh, it's mobile quarterback, so we're going to be terrible. I thought the Buffalo game was a lot more of like the other stuff. It was, hey, when the play was late, the back end wasn't doing their job. Or it was even the run scheme. It was like, hey, we're just not winning up front. They would lighten the box. It was like, hey, we got 6 guys in the box. We can't play the run. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing I thought was more of the issue. Let me, this is one of those plays. What play was this one? I don't remember what this play was. Like, even here, you could see that, okay, they bring a 4-man rush. You can see a little bit of pressure created from the inside. Again, that's where it's messy. Nick at left guard, like, it's pretty messy on that side. And then defense here, this isn't one of those cover 3 looks. It's actually one of their 2 deep looks here. More of their cover 6 looks here. But you can see the timing. I always like how Jaden uses his eyes, too. I think Jaden uses eyes really well in zone windows from what I've seen. I think he does a nice job with that. But you can see the timing, and even things like this where they have, like, the little delay to kind of clear out the zone. Maybe they don't have the exact right play for this, unless this cornerback bails. Then maybe you have the setup here, right? If you get the cornerback to bail, maybe you can settle down. But this isn't really like seemingly the right coverage beater. But you can see how well their timing is with the process, where he comes back, hits the whip route, and it's on time. He gets the ball up fast, quick delivery. He had that little touchdown he had against Tampa Bay, too, where he got in the pocket and kind of like, it's like, oh, that was nasty. Like, that was a nasty throw that he made to his tight end in the back of the end zone there. But, like, this is the kind of thing, man. That's the kind of thing that he does well. That fast release is a problem, and, their timing is constantly on point. Okay. Chrome, I see you, Chrome. Derek Barnes. Man, I miss Derek Barnes, man. Don't bring that up. You know what I mean? Don't bring that up, man. I miss Derek Barnes. Trevor Nowalski's been getting better, though. Trevor's been getting better. I would love to see where Barnes is at this point in the season. You know what I mean? Like, where he was at as a pass rusher. Like, where this guy was getting to. I would love to see me some Derek Barnes, man. That stinks. Like, him, and then if he misses so much dang time, like, bro, yeah. It just stinks, man. Hey, but this is Levi's opportunity. You know what I mean? This is Levi's opportunity to keep cooking. He's coming off his best game of his career. This is your opportunity. Their interior is shaky. Go cook those dudes, man. You know what I mean? Keep doing what, you did last game against Minnesota. Got a little extra time off. Levi, go crazy. I think he's capable. I think Levi's very capable of going crazy in this game. I don't think he'll have as many opportunities against Darnold, but he could definitely do his thing. Look, I want to play Saturday. Honestly, no. I don't want to play Saturday. You know what I want? I'll stand on the sideline. I wouldn't want to play Saturday. I want to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't want that smoke. But I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke. I'll be on the kickoff team. You know what I mean? Because we just kick it out of the end zone. Touchback. I'll just stand there. That'd be fire, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you could do that. Like, yo, look, we're not even going to keep this in play. We're just going to kick this through the end zone. Just stand here and be hype. That'd be fire. You know what I mean? Just stand there and be hype. Come on. And then come off the field, and that's it. That's my game. Special teams rep, just like that. One snap, and we're done. One snap, and I'm done. That's it. Wait, did I say what's up to Chrome? Chrome, I see you. Brian Branch going to get a pick. Brian Branch needs to get some plays on the football a little bit. I feel like we've had a lot. That's the one thing that we're missing for Branch since he's moved to slot. He's due to get one of those. I like that call. He's due to get one of those. Yeah, I'll have to continue with this one. I'll be a punter. You're gonna be the punter? I can't punt, man. I can't punt at all, man. I can't kick a football at all. All right. Yeah, I think we're good on everything, Dan. Anybody that's just joining, man, we went through the injury report at first. We gave kind of our first outlook on this opponent. And then, like I said, Thursday I'm going to aim for my preview. I know tomorrow we have... Tomorrow's Wednesday, huh? Tomorrow I got like 3 shows. So tomorrow we got Bleacher Report again. So I got Bleacher Report, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Then I also have our show right after that, which is going to be on the Roundtable. I'll be hosting that. So we'll get to talk to the Packers and the Vikings. Yeah. Hey, look, man, it's going to be a little awkward. You know what I mean? We're the only team with a game this weekend, so I don't know how that, it'll be good, but it's also a little bit, all right. I like talking about some other teams playing too, so that'll be a little awkward, so we got to do that. And then I also have a show before that, but I don't think that's going to be live, so I won't say it out loud because I don't know what that's going to be. Shoeless? No, I can't kick. Branch just wants a full paycheck. He just wants a full paycheck. Josh Pascal needs a masterclass game. Pascal has been good in games like this. That's a good call. Pascal has been good in games like this. Actually, this is crazy. So, Shot to Bet US YouTube 150. That's our promo code or our sign up bonus. 150% deposit match, 100% deposit, 125% the next two. The lines are up. Lions minus 9.5. That's had to continue moving. I saw this thing at I think I started at 8.5, but 9.5 is now wild. This thing has moved way up. We're now above the Houston Texans Kansas City line. That's insane. I get this one being a pick. Well, kind of. Buffalo's at home, but this is kind of crazy. We're above the Kansas City line. That's got to mean something. I mean, look, if you feel good about the Lions blowing them out, this is your spot to get in on it. Over-under's 55. I'd probably mess with the over-under a little more. I think from what I've seen, I'd probably jump on the... I don't know, because this is one of those... If the Lions did get a lead early, and then they're forced to throw it, that's one of those teams that can make a couple big plays and put some points on the board. But I think it's going to be some long, efficient drives. So I'm going to go the under here on 55. I'm going to go the under. 27, 28. I'm going to go the under on that. But 9.5 is crazy. If y'all feel good about that, man, go to Bet US. If you're looking for your sports book, YouTube 150 is the code. Meek is having another great game. He's locked in. Meek was a dog. Terrion was a dog last week. They were all dogs last week. They're all really good. And I think Terrion he'll be a guy to watch, man, for sure. You know, because thinking about it out loud, we probably will give a little more Meek help. Terrion will be someone to watch for sure. Because Terrion's had these good games. And I don't think that, there's motion. There's motion with Washington. There's a lot of single motions. There's not a lot of two motions. A lot of single motions. I don't see as much fast motion with him either, so I don't think they create as much problems there. It's a little bit more all right, we're going to set, we're going to kind of see what we're getting defensively, and they feel like a very calm offense. So there's a lot of that. So I think it should be a little more straightforward in terms of Terrion knowing his assignment, and that could lead to an opportunity where he just jumps one of these routes, man, where it's a little bit less confusing. It's a little more straight. It's not as complex. It's like a slant or something. We've seen those things. I'm actually talking myself into it. I kind of like Terrion with a pick this week. I kind of like Terrion to go get one this week. This is a game for him to do that. It's a little more straightforward. He goes a little crazy. He jumps a route. I think that's on the table this week because now he's fired up. He's believing in himself. He's like, I'm playing through an injury. This is his injury game. Or I don't even know. I don't remember what his injury was. I kind of like that now. I think I might roll with Terrion getting a pick this week. I'm gonna have to write that down. Terrion interception. I'm not doing it for sure. But when that parlay hits, I might TA need one. He's due with that. That might be the guy that I lean to this week. I usually stay away from him because it just hasn't happened. But this might be the week to do that. I like that one. But yeah, no, I mean the big thing to me is too because I think we're gonna see a lot of nickel. It's matching up with the running backs and tight ends. When you're in that, you should have an advantage in the passing attack. But man, tackling is gonna be everything in this one, man. Tackling is gonna be everything. We can't have a lot of missed tackles. And that, Rams were tackling really well. Tackling is going to be everything in the game like this. Tim Patrick's going to have a heck of a game. I could see that. I could see that a little bit. I don't know where I'd put him for that. But I could see him on some underneath stuff, doing a little bit after the catch. Maybe something like that. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, look, he might have some size advantages on corners. They play a ton of nickel though. Like Washington's always in nickel package. They don't really ever match base personnel. They're always with an extra DB on the field. They always seemingly have no Igbenogany out there. I mean, there's if you play jumbo or if we play two backs, then maybe they'll get out of it. Maybe that'll be our chance to kind of find those kind of matchups where we get a third backer. But they're typically with three defensive backs on the field, which probably will make them want to run the ball more. But that also would mean that we're going to throw it. They might put an extra all lineman on the field to kind of guarantee that's the look they get. Or with Monty back, it's a great opportunity to put Gibbs at receiver. Because Gibbs has been kind of cooking there. Put him at receiver, you're getting a lot more one-on-one matchups. And let him go to work on either Luvu or Bobby Wagner because we've seen that happen. And I still don't think that's a great match. He's looked good every time I've seen him, but I don't think that'll be a great matchup. I don't anticipate that'll work out very well. And even at times, I've seen windows this year that teams haven't been able to hit behind their backers. Their backers tend to play with a lot less depth, seemingly, from what I've seen so far. They're a little more shallow in zone. I think there's definitely a second level that you can open there with the aggressive safety play. But to me, that opens the window for the backs to get involved in the passing attack. Those guys just get open, but especially behind the linebackers. I think Atlanta, man, was getting some real looks behind their linebackers. Their safety will play aggressive, but it's there. So if you're on point with your windows, man, I think we can go at Wagner and Luvu in coverage a little bit. Like I definitely think we can attack those guys from what I've seen so far in coverage. Even though they've been great numbers wise, I think we go at those guys. What about deep shots? Like, whoever's matched up with Sainra still, I would try to get a shot. If Jameson ever gets that matchup, I'd go deep. You know, unless there's a safety sitting on top, I'd immediately take a shot on that guy. Just to, because that's the one spot where it's like, all right, he might just be able to run by him. Outside of that, I don't think there's a, Noah can run. He could run. I don't know if you'd go past him necessarily. You might be able to create a deep shot by, design. Maybe a clear out. If you get in a matchup, maybe you get a wheel route underneath. They don't pick it up. Maybe something like that. You think about, it would be tough because you would really have to clear it out. But, when you think about kind of the fake fumble we had against Chicago, that was cover 3. Now, they weren't matching it, so you had the flat defender just look down and he went behind him. But if you had, 2 routes roll through, and then you maybe had a leak route, still kind of the same thing from the backside, you could potentially create that opening. You could potentially still get that clear out. So maybe something like that. That's where we'll see, the Lions clear routes out. We've seen that before. Yeah, that could happen. But it also, that kind of coverage opens up the middle of the field because they're trying to play it and funnel to the free safety. So there is a window there. What I would say the deep shots would be, most likely, maybe that's Tim Patrick. It's going to be like those deep post corners or those deep out routes where you have a one-on-one. Like we've seen Michael Davis play recently. I don't think he'll be out there a ton. But we've seen those looks, and he was struggling a little bit to deal with it. But where you get those one-on-ones on the outside, and you're able to get that isolated, and you can work the sideline a little bit because everybody's funneling back to the inside. That would be kind of the that used to be kind of the Josh Reynolds world. So I don't know who that would be now. Probably Tim Patrick, to be honest, or Jameson, maybe a deep comeback, something like that. Let me get this. Yeah, maybe something like that, man. Because honestly, Lattimore struggled at the top of routes. Those bigger body receivers could definitely work one of those. Even St. Brown. St. Brown could work one of those. Like a deep post corner, deep out routes, that kind of thing. Where they're trying to press to the safety. And they're kind of giving you an opportunity that if you open the leverage, you have an easy route towards the sideline. That'd be my way. So maybe not just a go ball. Because I would assume they're going to be smart enough to not be like, hey, let's press straight. Sainer still on JMO. That's not going to make any sense. But that's something they'll give up. They will give that up. They'll give up some cushion as well. Maybe, it'd be another one too? A fake screen. A fake screen could work. I don't know if it'd work great, but you could think about it. You could try it. You know how they do the fake bubble and then they come over top? Something like that could be in play. If they're going to give you that space, and Lions are going to go after it. Quick fake screen. You get one of those guys to bite that are supposed to be carrying it. Now you give yourself a window. I don't expect Monty playing his snaps, even though he's back. I honestly, if you were asking me, I think he'll play a lot. I don't know what a lot means, I guess. I don't think he'll get as many carries as Gibbs. But I think he get A+. I think he'll get A+ carries in this game. Just because, I guess he's good. If he's good, he's good. You know what I mean? That'd be my guess, but I have no idea. Well, if you are the Commanders, how would you stop the Lions' offense? Oh man, dang, that's a good question. If I was Commanders, how would I stop them? With what the Commanders have, boy, I kind of like what they do. I think what they do could work. I think it's probably the best shot. I don't know. I feel like if I'm playing the Lions, I want to make them uncomfortable every time they try to go play action. So I want them to become a team that feels like they have to go shotgun, back out of the pocket. Because one thing I know is that if they're running the ball well, the game's over. If I'm getting cooked on the ground, which is definitely going to be in play, game's over. So for me, I'd be bringing extra rushers on early downs. I'd be selling out to stop the run. The downside has been that Jamel's become an answer there for opponent. He's just winning on the outside now. But I would do that. Potentially create some confusion. I think Monty will help us there. Maybe you create some confusion with pickups, and then they have just something go wrong. I'd sell up to stop the run. That'd be my hope. I just go after us, and I'd probably just do a variety of what they do. I'd play a lot of single high safety. If I had them in third downs, I'd run a lot more of the inverted looks, like Green Bay does, the inverted Tampa 2 stuff. I think that tends to give us some problems. Where it's we have a beater for something, and we show if there's when teams show man against us, and we try to get to a beater and teams go to Tampa 2, it throws us all the way off. That's like the one, not all the time, but it tends to be like the one play where you're like, oh gosh, they went to that. And then we had nobody open because we're like, trying to create like, in breaker. And then they have the linebacker that sits on the in breaker. And then the underneath thing is kind of sat on by the underneath linebacker. And then it's like, well, we can't get across the entire field. So if I got the lines behind the chains, I do a lot of that on third down. But I think if you're playing a lot, man, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to stop the run. So it's like, you got to stop the run. It's a good way to look at it because it's definitely what every other team is thinking. You have to pressure Goff. You got to try, man. You got to try. I mean, and it's like, you want to pressure any quarterback, right? You pressure any quarterback, they're going to be worse. I don't know if quarterback is better when he's under pressure. But it's like, what cost? At what cost? Am I bringing 8 guys? Like, at what cost? I mean, you saw Minnesota, at least they had some positives bringing a lot of guys, at least early, and then the Lions are like, all right, you keep bringing 6 guys, we're going to just start dicing it up. And it was like, okay. But at least they made us work for it. You know what I mean? They made us work for it. So I think that's what you got to do. You got to make the Lions work for it. You got to make them really work to find any kind of rushing success. I would have my linebackers playing super aggressive against the run, which is why in the back end, I can't be playing spot dropping zone, bro. I got to be matching everybody in the back end. It's some sort of match zone or man coverage. Like, I got to match everything up. I'm not leaving anybody just open in zone coverage. And then whenever I do on third down, I'm playing too deep, and we're showing man every time, and we're going too deep. And eventually, we're probably going to get cooked, right? It might work for a little bit. Eventually, we're probably going to get cooked. But that's what I would think on top of my head. Detroit's offense. Wait, hold on. I missed one. Let me come back to that. For the upcoming Levi negotiation, assuming it's a Brad special 1-year deal, where's your line to sand? Ooh, that's a good. See, that's tough because I don't know I haven't looked into that at all. Let me check real quick. Defensive lineman contracts. I don't know what like the rate is for these dudes from last year. Because I'm thinking like $8 million came to mind immediately, but I think I'd be willing to pay him more than $8 million. Like $8 million per year last year was what? Daquan Jones, Ashawn Robinson was 7.5. Harrison Phillips at 7.5 is insane. Yeah, I'd be willing to give him that money. DJ Jones at 10. I don't know. He's gonna be tough because he's gonna be like, I can see him having more value than that because of his age. Zach Sealer, like he's 10.2. He was a dog this year. I think 10 million would be my line. You know what I mean? That's a lot though, man. I wouldn't want to give him 10 million for 1 year. I'll take that back. I'm not giving you 10 mil for 1 year. You know what I mean? I need a multi-year deal there, or I have to do the Brad special and just throw some void years on that contract. But I can't have it like 10 million cap it for 1 year. We getting you for extra years if that's the case, or we're doing the Brad special. We're doing some void years on there. But yeah, I mean, like for me, I would give him a multi-year deal. Where I'm at with it right now, just take up top of my head, I'd give him a multi-year deal. I wouldn't even bring him back a 1 year deal. I'd sign him for multiple years. 2 years, I'd probably go 2 years. Maybe 3. I'd probably go 2 though. I want that dude locked in. I want Levi locked in. I'm a believer in Levi. Like I'm sold right now. This guy is going that way. You know what I mean? 2-year contract, 10 million, 2 million incentives. Like, I'm not mad at that. You saying 5 per year though? Because 5 per year is some like he's better than these dudes. He's better than these dudes that are getting paid there. But if you're saying like 10 per, even if that looks a little high, like I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Like I want that guy locked up for multiple years. I don't even want to play around with like a 1 year deal there. Saquon cooked them. I expect us to cook them. You have to pressure Goff for Detroit Lions offense line is elite. Not going to let what happened to Minnesota or this blitzing crap will not be the Detroit offensive line. We have all pro players offensive line. Bring it on, NFL. Yeah, they again, some of that was running back though. Some of that was running back too, man. And some of it's you bring 6 rushers, like you're overwhelmed as an offense. Like some of that's that too, and that's what Minnesota does. Minnesota brings a lot of 6-man rushes. They don't just bring 5. Washington brings a lot of 5, and I think if you're an opponent, like you have to go if you're going to go after the Lions. I don't know that five's not great to me if you're playing zone to back end. Like if I'm a defense, I'm not bringing 5 rushers and playing zone. But if I am playing man, I think bringing 5 is okay. It'll at least speed Goff up, and then he has to make a quicker decision. That might be a good plan against us. That could work. They are a high blitzing team. Like I said, it's kind of similar to what we do. So that could have success. Just kind of play man in the back end and bring 5 rushers constantly. But I'm not bringing 4. All right, and I'm not bringing 5 and then playing zone and leaving windows. Like that'd be the thing I'd have to avoid. Bleacher Report on YouTube or what? Oh yeah, it's on no, it's on the app. It's on the Bleacher Report app. You got to download the app. And if you have the app, you can follow the Lions. You'll see my stuff on there. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays throughout the offseason, 6 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be set in stone as of now. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what it is, 6 p.m. Eastern. I heard that teams go in the playoffs with different plays or schemes never shown during the season. Do I think we have something coming new? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what we would do that would be new. I mean, I feel like defensively we have wrinkles. You know what I mean? I thought we did against Minnesota. It wasn't new. It was like nobody's seen it before, but it was kind of new for us. It's like, all right, just doing this throughout an entire game was kind of unique. That's a good question. I would be a little bit surprised especially this week, if I thought we saw something like very new, like from the defensive side, like a crazy new coverage they try to throw out there. Man, that's a good question though, because I'm trying to think of like what we haven't done. We've kind of done it all. Like, we've done a lot of it. Like, I mean, we played cover 6 on early downs against teams with 2 good outside receivers. We've been aggressive like if we were against Minnesota. We played match coverage like we did against Green Bay. We've been pretty. I mean, or if you think about a thing like Tampa Bay, right? We played Tampa Bay and we threw the ball a ton the first time we played, and we don't get to play Tampa Bay again, but we threw the ball a ton. You know, could that change? Because that's typically the way the Lions would play a team like that. It's like, okay, we're going to keep doing this. So I don't think defensively things will change a ton. Like, I don't think they'll come out with like a insanely new plan to deal with like the read option. Like, I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they will. But it's going to be a tough spot because Trevor's, kind of new to that spot still. But I think that'll be kind of straightforward to usually who they are. I don't know. That's a good question though. I think we see something new. I'm sure we'll get a new trick play. I'm sure that'll happen at some point. Oh no, it's definitely got to be annoying, dude. Run stunts. That's your best bet. That probably is your best bet, to be honest. We all need to realize this team is beat up bad. How fast need to play the next game? I need to start now. J-Mo Brown, Porter Gibbs. Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, Patrick, Raymond. Let's go. Hey, you're fired up, Frank. Frank, I like that. Frank, I know you. Frank, I know Frank's hyped up typing this all in, bro. Frank, I love it. I can feel the energy through your chat. There's an amazing chat. I'm glad the Bills got the Eagles. You glad the Bills? Oh, you got the Bills got the Eagles. Okay, I must have missed something there. With all due respect, all this our defense is lesser than stellar. Yes, we have injuries, yet we've shown. Look, man, our defense. I like our defense, man. I'm optimistic still on our defense. I was thinking about it again today. I'm like, I like our corners. Watch Terrian go play like he did last week. I like our corners. Meek's a starter. We gotta if those dudes are solid, everything else is strong in the back end. I like our backers. If Levi continues to cook when he should, like below average offensive lineman, which this week will have the opportunity to do that. Him and Reader, I love that. Like now you get a team against Philly, they're probably not gonna cook, so that's a little bit, less of that. Maybe we play the Rams if we handle business, who knows? But like, man, like against a team like this, we can go to work a little bit. We definitely should see Za'Darius go to work a little bit. I think for sure. I think we see Ben Johnson get creative and get Jared Goff a TD. That'd be fire. Do you think we resign Iffy? Would you? Right now I would resign Iffy. But right now, if I had to pick, I'd resign Levi first. But I also would try to resign Iffy. The problem with Iffy is, again, like I don't know what the Lions' vision is in terms of like Brian Branch and is he safety, because I don't want to sign him and then like the vision is, well, yeah, Branch is a starting safety, now you're the backup. Like I don't want to do that, especially if I get a multi-year deal. It doesn't make any sense because I'm sure I'm going to be paying some solid money there. But I do want to bring him back. The problem is I just don't think he's developed in some of like the areas like that I would like to see. Like I think there's areas of the game that need more development that haven't taken those major steps. But I think unfortunately so much of that is because he's been injured. He's missed so much time. He hasn't taken some of those steps. But what he's good at, he's one of the best in the league. Like I think if he has potential to be the best safety in the NFL, like he's got that within him. I don't think he's like right on the doorstep of being that, but I think he's clearly got it in him. Like you're like, yo, this dude's better than everybody else at that spot because he's the most versatile safety, because he hits dudes. He's a great tackler. He could be the best blitzing safety. Like he's got that in his game. You know what I mean? So I think because that's there, I definitely want to pay him and bring him back. But not even just the idea of missing time. It's the fact that he's missed some time. And then there's certain areas I just don't feel like I've gotten to that level where I'd like to see like, oh, there's growth here. Like I can't even point to substantial growth in certain areas. So for me, like I want to bring him back. I think I'd bring back Levi first if I had to pick between the two right now, but I definitely want to bring back both. Had a sack when he played Washington earlier this year. When he played, as a Cleveland, as a Cleveland, yo, as a Cleveland, yo, that's crazy. Would you rather play the Eagles or Rams? I think I'd rather play the Rams, man. No, I don't know, man. I think I'd rather play the Rams because I feel like we'd have it. Like right now, I feel like we'd have an advantage if we played the Rams. Like we'd have some clear-cut advantages. I think if we played the Eagles, some of our like advantages would definitely could swing the other way. Like their O-line versus our D-line, that could swing the other way for sure. So like I feel like because of that, I'm thinking Eagles. But man, their passing attack is garbage, bro. Like it's not like the Rams at all, bro. Their passing attack is not it. I'm confident playing the Rams, to be honest with you. I'm confident we can handle business against that team. You know what I mean? I was shocked the Rams won, though, so I guess there's that. Brock Bright TD coming? Hey, Jeff, don't place that bet, dog. I'll be honest with you. Don't place that bet, bro. Jeff, did you already place the prop bet? Is it too late? We blitzing or just containing? No, I think we're going to be bringing some bodies. I think we're going to be blitzing. Early thoughts, we're going to definitely be bringing some extra bodies. That's crazy. Would you rather play Eagles or Rams? Jalen Hurts played terrible. Bro, oh my gosh, man. When you play coverage in the back end, bro, it's a mess. He beat us by playing rollouts to the sideline. But if they watch Bill's game. Yeah, look, man. Again, I don't think I think that was on us more than anything. I didn't think anything to Bill. Well, I don't say anything. I thought the run scheme gave us problems. I think that was something that you could pick up from and be like, let's try this as an offense. So we'll see if Washington does that. If I'm playing the Lions on that side of the ball, I'm spreading us out. I'm making the box light, and I'm running the ball with a mobile quarterback, and I'm like, you're a part of the run game. And I'm making the Lions deal with this 6-man box to play the run, right? I'm making them constantly have to play more than one gap, that kind of thing. But I didn't think that there was much that they did that it wasn't just a breakdown with Josh. Like, I don't think that there's, like to your point, and I'm saying this because it's like, I don't think that the Bills can go out there, or the Commanders be like, if we run this like rollout, they're not gonna be able to play it. Like I feel like so much of that was issues on our own end, where it was just guys not picking up things in the back end, right? And it was like, okay, contain's a little bit messy, which by the way has been a lot better the last few weeks. We even had some good plays on third downs where we just gave up the play late. So I think we've gotten a lot better since that game. I think we've dealt with the mobility a lot better since that game. And like I said, I don't think Jaden's Josh Allen, but some of the, like y'all saw the throw he made to Ty Johnson. That was like, what the heck? I thought I was gonna be 6-0 this week on my picks. I wasn't because I took Minnesota. But the dang Broncos Bills game, Broncos scored first. I was like, oh my gosh, Broncos are gonna pull it off. They were in it for a while, and then he threw that dang touchdown to Ty Johnson, and that was so like, man, this brings me back. This brings me back to that dang game, dealing with those dang running backs. At that point, we didn't have Anceloni. They were picking on our linebackers. They like had the perfect personnel, where they're strong, tight end and running back in the passing game, versus where we were injured at the time. And we could just tell some of our guys was like, they were not prepared for what they were about to be in store for against that team. But we've been a lot better the last few weeks. They don't throw much in the middle. Do you think Branch? I think Branch will be blitzing for sure. I think he'll probably be the highest blitzer in this game, because he can also help us against the run there. So I think there'll be a lot of that. Do you think people are sleeping on the Commanders? I think I don't know if I have. My only early thoughts is what you guys are saying. I don't know what do y'all think? I mean, what do y'all think is going to happen? Y'all guys, you all seem very confident we're going to smoke the Commanders. So based on that confidence, I would say I think people are underestimating, I think, how they've gotten to where they are. Like, there's no doubt that a team that 13 wins, that when you look at their depth chart, you got to be like, wait a minute, how did this happen? Fantastic coaching, man. I think they have fantastic coaching. I don't think they make very many mistakes. Like I showed, Jaden doesn't make a ton of mistakes. I think they're very diverse. I think they're unique, and like I don't think they're gonna give you a lot of football games, man. So I think that's why, like, there's a path to blowing them out. Like I said, there's getting up early. You know, obviously you put them in bad spots, they're probably gonna be in some trouble. But so I don't think they have like the capability of, like, even what the Bills had, where it was like, yo, Josh Allen on 3rd and 18 just does this, and it's like, oh, touchdown. It's like, I don't think they could do that, Maybe once. I don't think they can constantly do that. But I do think that they can, if the game's close, they're a handful, bro, because they're not going to go away. They're just going to keep swinging. Offense and defense are going to be good on both sides. Like, I think that's where they're tough, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain games like Chicago, and I remember watching Chicago, and I was like, oh, we're going to run the ball on this team. And I don't feel that same way with Washington. I think the run defense is below average, clearly. I think we'll run the ball well. But I don't know that we'll run it as well as we did against a team like Chicago. But every time I say that, I underestimate it, so hopefully I'm wrong on this. I don't think we'll bully Chicago like we did with the run game. I don't expect that. And I don't think Jaden Daniels will throw 2 terrible interceptions and make this like 10-0. Like I don't get those vibes. So I think that it's gonna take like some little plays to probably get it to a spot where we can run away with this one, and we could. But that's what I think. I think they're really well coached, man. It's the only way you win that many games. I'm confident because they're a good team. We're a great team. Like, see, I like that. That's where I'm at with it. Are we gonna get another episode of Inside the Den before the game? Shoot. When's the last Inside the Den episode? They do need to drop one of those. They should for winning the division. Run game is key for the Lions. Open up the entire offense. Always, man. Always. I'm confident. Oh, I already read that. Game will be under an 8 spread. Hey, okay. Look. I mean, it's at 9.5 now. I don't definitely, if you think it'll be under 8, don't bet it now. The Bills game was free money. The Bills game was free money. All right, Eric, stop. Eric, stop. You know what, man? I'd be more fired up if the Vikings would have beat the darn Rams. Because I was hyped, bro. They scored that first touchdown. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this pick right. And like I said, they were in it. It was that dang 4th down conversion. They missed a dumb field goal before half. Bo Nix looked like a rookie. Dude looked like a rookie, man. You know what I mean? Like, this dude looked like he's like, all right, I don't know where to go to football. So, okay. It's all right, man. You're a rookie. It's okay. It's gonna take a second. But I was watching that like, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those games where it's like the score was close, but it didn't feel like it was maybe that close like ever. But it was still, the score was still close. And it's like, they got a shot. They just got to do something. You know what I mean? They just got to get like one play. They could do nothing on offense. I don't take the Commanders for granted at all. No, I mean, if I had to make my early prediction now, I'd have it closer than 9.5, I think. Doth, brother, what happened to your afro, bro? Michael. What's up, Michael? I see you. The last episode of the draft, dang. What happened to the afro? I was walking. When I was walking, right, my head got stuck. Like, you know how sometimes the ceiling will, like, and then my head, like, I hit it, right? So it just took it all with. This is the battle of 4th down. Who win this stat battle? Hey, Commanders would by the numbers. But I think that Washington is much more conservative on 4th from what I know so far, where it's like they'll go for it and they get a lot, but it's much more manageable. They can do more sneaks, and then their run pass option is a real problem there. I think for us, it'll be a 4th down and 4, and we'll go for it. It's like, all right, that's not normal. So I would say us. I think we have the advantage on 4th down. But if it's 4th and 1, they might have the advantage on 4th down. Last episode was the draft. Oh, yeah, they need to update that. I'm pretty sure they're working on it. Yeah, I'm definitely sure they're working on it. You know, they're jumping on. They're getting numbers this year, man. They are smart to be making sure that happens. First saw you like 8 years ago. You was looking like a kid playing the 1990s movie House Party. I've seen House Party. I think I've seen House Party. Let me double check, though. I think I've seen that once. House Party. Have I seen that? Maybe I haven't. Oh, it's a video game? Or is it? Oh, the TV show House Party. I don't know what that is. I thought I did, but maybe I don't. No, it's a movie. It's a movie. Nah, I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that. It sounded familiar. I don't think I've ever seen it. Knows I'm nervous. No doubt about this game. Man, I'm excited to be back for football, bro. It's been too long. Like, this whole doing, no game is tough, dude. Like, I didn't know what to do, man. It felt weird. It was kind of nice, but it felt kind of weird, too. Like, I'm ready to watch some football. I'm ready to get fired up again. Let's go. Commanders are terrified of our offense. That's the thing. I just think they're sound, man. Like, honestly, if I was going to predict now, I'd probably have, like, 26-23 Lions. I'd probably be somewhere in that ballpark. But I think by the time we get to the end of the week, I may have that separated more. I just think it's too early right now for me to be, like, stake my claim. I think this is where we're going to dominate them. I don't think I'm there anywhere yet. I think we have better personnel, but If you told me we won by losing and also lost the turnover battle, I'd believe it. I'd believe that. I think that could be how this plays out. 30-20. Yeah, like that's my score may get to something like that. House party video game making me feel old. Yo, I've never even heard of that. It looked like The Sims or something. I don't know what that is. It's all scripted, man. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. We already won in New Orleans. Jameson flying through the air on that touchdown. We're winning. Hey, yo, I hope it is, dog. If it is, it's you know what I said about that, man. It's like, yo, if this thing is scripted, bro, at some point we need to win because you know what I mean. Like it's a garbage script, dog. They just left us off there. So if it is, then let's handle business. You know what I mean? Let's go get it done. Let's go get it done at some point, okay? Give us something to be hype about. You should have done the wild card weekend as a show for like watching the games. I was gonna do that for the Rams game actually, but yeah, that day just did not go well. Yeah, I was gonna do it for the Rams game because that was the one, and I thought about doing it when Denver was playing, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because that would have been boring. I was going to if they scored. I was like, ooh, should we go live? Yeah. Do we spy Daniels? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't think it's a bad move. I think that, you know, we saw a little bit of that against Buffalo. I think we could pull that back out in a game like this. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be bad on third down. I haven't got to that point yet. Let me look real quick. Stinkton. A lot of in-breakers. A lot of in-breaker routes. Right? They run like a lot of angle routes. I don't even know that I've charted a scramble on third down yet. I think I've gotten a broken play. I don't think I've even had a scramble. I've had a sneak. I've had a design quarterback sweep run. But I don't think I've had a oh no, I've had one. I've had one where they tried to do a fake screen. That's the only one I've even had. So it's like I haven't seen that become as big of a, you know, part of a thing. You know what I mean? So as of now, I don't think you need to. But that could change the more and more I see of this team. Hope secondary shows up. Come on, man. Let's keep it rolling. Let's stay hot. Lions are going to get to an early lead, then take the clock. Be fantastic. That's the way to do it. Bucks use 2 spies, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, that might be too much. I mean, I guess in a way we kind of did too. Not completely, but we had two DNs that would drop out on both sides, kind of like our rat players just sitting underneath. So you kind of did, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't got there yet with it. I haven't felt that kind of threat on third down yet. But I also don't think their offense line's great, so I think you can win and get there kind of quickly. So if it's like the first and second, if the second read's not there, I think you're going to have pressure. That's the plan. It's like, hey, we should be able to get pressure. If we can get pressure with 4, that second read, we're on his neck. You know what I mean? So we didn't have to spy. We're already there. Because it's not like we can't get there and he might take off kind of deal. The Lions are going to get... And I don't think he looks to run either. Like, that's the thing, too. I don't think he's, like, immediately looking to run. He looks like he wants to stand there and deliver. That's just a design to move him out of the pocket. He doesn't look like it's I want to take off. Oh, I don't like it. Let me go. Like, he feels like he wants to kind of stay in and let it play out because he's so much about timing and getting through his progression. So, I don't think he doesn't feel like he's ever forcing that. If you don't know House Party, you have that fro looking Will Smith and Men in Black. That's a good one. I just remember your personality with that little nice haircut. One of the first Detroit. I appreciate you, Michael. Your show is good because all the film you watch. I appreciate you. Virgil, that's a fire name. Always a pleasure. I appreciate it. Detroit Lions YouTubers outside Everything King. Shout to Everything King. Established a forefront for me not to have cable and save money. Just do live Wi-Fi for $20 a month. I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? Hey, that's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man. So, yeah, look, here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow show-wise. I know I'll be, like I said, so someone asked about the roundtable. Everybody should be there, from my understanding. I don't think anybody's going to be missing tomorrow. So, yeah, that's 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, around that time. 6 p.m. I'll be on Bleacher Report. I'll have something before that. If it's live, I'll post it on the community tab. But it'll be about 4. I'll post on the community tab. So, we'll see how that plays out. The last 3 games with Gibbs has been amazing. I know Monty's coming back, but, Gibbs brings a different energy. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Gibbs is crazy. And it's like the more volume you give him, eventually he's going to break one. That's where he's crazy. But Monty is still super valuable. And I think that, I honestly think our run game would have been better last week with Monty. If Monty would have been there, especially early, I don't know that the game looks like it did early. I don't know if that's as ugly as the start. I think we get off to a much hotter start if Monty's in the game. But that being said, it's like the more volume you give Gibbs, eventually he's just gonna cook, like he did. Hey, Dose, what do the numbers say when Daniels gets blitzed? Like, how is he versus zero? I actually have a, I didn't put it in my graphic, but I had a, said against zero coverage. Let me see. I had a thing for this actually. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second, because I actually was trying to figure out like what I wanted to show. Because yeah, again, initially I did this on Bleacher Report yesterday, so I was trying to figure out like what stats I wanted to show. Bam, coverage, 0. Oh no, cover 0. Oh, okay, it's not working right now. Okay, I'll have to come back to it. Yeah, I'll have to come back to it. I thought I had it. I thought I had it handy. I had it at one point. I don't have it handy right now. I'll have to come back to it, because I don't think I put it on my graphic. Cover 1, cover 3. Yeah, I only put cover 1 and cover 3 on there. I don't know why I did that. But the blitzing, yeah, I mean his numbers do drop a little bit when he's blitzed. But I didn't grab the. I thought I maybe did. I didn't grab the specific stats versus zero coverage. So I'll have to look for that, because if something stands out there, I'll definitely have to share that. Crazy how we don't get no love on ESPN. All About Daniels is crazy. Now that is nuts. I haven't seen any of that, but that's wild. That's wild. I mean, yeah. Everybody knows. You start playing like Ann Arbor football. Sniff a little blood. Detroit announcer scare. Detroit Pistons when we won 2004. I saw videos like everybody was showing all the people that were at the game. That was pretty fire. That got me hype a little bit. All the people that were there at the Vikings game. In Golf We Trust. Dose, would you cry if the Lions won a Super Bowl? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I would have cried last year. I don't know. I feel like I would, but I don't know, Because I think it's different. Honestly, I think it's different. Like, I feel like if I cried, it wouldn't be because of content. It would be because we just won the Super Bowl, and it'd be like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, when you really think through the process of, like, all, like, the disasters. Like, if we could win the Super Bowl, it would just have to happen. But, like, you know what I always think back on? Like, I remember we were live when the Lions played the Bears. 2021. We were up big in that game. And we blew the lead. And we ended up losing. Swift dropped the touchdown in the end zone. Like, we had a ton of people in that live. Like, this is before people were really live streaming on YouTube. We were like 1,000 people in there live. And we were blowing out the Bears, And it was like, oh, this is about to be a season. And then we had to lose in the game. Like, those kind of things. Or, like, I remember we weren't doing shows back then. But I can remember going to Buffalo Wild Wings, man. When the Lions first got Patricia. Y'all remember this. We played the Jets. And we got a pick 6 immediately. It's like, oh, we're going to be a problem this year. I was hyped, too, because it was like, oh, this is a defensive coordinator. We getting pick 6s. It's like, they got no answer for us. So it was like, we're about to be a real problem on defense. And then it was like, all right, maybe not. I can remember because I think we made it like 17-17 at one point in that game. And it was like, okay, we're back. We're back now. Like, it was like, all right, we settled in. Second half's going to be great. And then no. Like, we ended up leaving before the game ended. It was so bad. So things like that. The Atlanta games, remember being hype, how hot we started that year. Then the Atlanta game happened where they called Tate short. And that what were we like? I think we were like 2-0, but we'd have been like 4-0, and we ended up being like 3-1 through our first 4. Or one thing I do remember content-wise, though, that was fun, it was like our first breakdown video. It's probably still on YouTube. I don't even know how long it was or whatever. I'll have to look it up. It was Lions-Chiefs, and I think it was like our first time playing Mahomes, maybe. And it was, Stafford was here, and we ended up losing that game, but it was tight. It was close. And that was the year that Stafford got hurt, and then the season just ended. But I remember preparing for that one. Like, what if I did a video where I talked about, like, my plan on how to beat Patrick Mahomes? And that thing was like, that was it. And I think that was the beginning of something right there. What year was that? 2019? That was the beginning right there. I remember making that video. I remember laying on the floor putting that thing together. I was hyped too. I was like, I found the sauce. I found the sauce, bro. About to shut this dude down. And then we were actually competitive. Like, we really had a shot to go win that game. I don't know. Oh, my gosh. I don't even know what that would be called. I don't think I'm going to find it. I was going to. Yeah, I don't know what that would be called. I was going to see. Most like lose your voice from yelling and hollering. Yeah, that's. or start off where we left off at. Do you think we'll start slow or we'll be okay? Ooh. I think we'll actually start pretty quick this game. I get the sense we're gonna start pretty fast. I get a sense that if the Lions win the toss, they'll probably elect to receive. That'd be my guess, is that the Lions don't want the ball first. They want to go score against this team. I think it was a blueprint video. That's what it was. I don't know, dude. This is so long ago. And I wasn't doing videos like this. Crying Dan Campbell is going to give the best speech. Oh, no, that's fact stuff. See, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, as the process happens. Nah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I don't think I'd cry about the content. I think I'd cry because they won it. But I don't think just the content would have me crying, though. I don't think so. Because it's like, you know, content's different. You know, you can have good seasons, bad seasons, good or not. How Lions could beat the Chiefs. Oh my gosh, I did a reaction video to how Lions could beat the Chiefs. Why'd I do a reaction video to it? So I made the video and then I reacted to it? What? Wait, hold up. Yeah, this is some goofy stuff. I'm pretty sure I made a video and then I reacted to it. Oh, no, I didn't. I reacted to an article. Dang, I haven't done an article reaction in a while. Yo, that might have to come back. That might have to come back. A little article reaction. Wow. Okay. Dang, man, I got a lot of Chiefs stuff on here. I didn't know I had all this on here. Think of all the times. That's what it would be. It would be all the times. The dang refs, man. Finding the Chiefs' weakness. How to beat the Chiefs. I put Detroit Lions talk. Yo, and oh my gosh, this is the video right here. I think this is it. What year was this? 5 years ago? This was it, bro. This was it. This is why. This is why you get emotional right here. Oh my goodness. This ain't no dang sports update. Oh boy.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, we're not gonna do this. What am I doing, bro? Oh, this is the green screen. Yeah, you can see the outline in the background. That's not great. It looked kind of cool, though. I'm not going to lie. It looked kind of good. I'm not sure what I'm showing, though. Is it... I just screenshotted like a... Oh, no, I'm playing plays. Okay. No, see, like, look. This was ahead of its time, bro. I think this was before, like, All 22 was a thing. It may have been a thing at this time, and I just didn't know about it. But I don't know if All 22 was a thing. I probably can't show this. I'll probably get copyrighted for showing this now. But look, bro, we were on it, dog. That's the afro. Yo, it is. Yeah, man. Yo, this is before. Yo, and I was into it. I don't even know where I got these clips from. Man, how about that, man?
Bad matchups, okay? Football is a lot about matchups. When you have
ooh, hey, y'all spit facts too. Hold up.
Linebacker one-on-one with the tight end, you're gonna get burnt over and over and over.
Oh,
missing
snap.
tackles. We can't miss tackles against.
Okay, hey, look, man. I mean, if y'all want to know, and look, we were in it.
Very good against varsity screens. They almost actually had a pick.
Did I have a prediction in here? I want to see if I had a prediction in here.
Ourselves, we can beat this team. Okay, they put up points. They may get a couple big plays, but honestly, if we don't beat ourselves and we keep them in the pocket, we can win this game. I'm not kidding. You don't have to believe me, but this is what I saw from all of my screenshots. If you guys want to watch the full game, I went on
my
NFL
screenshot.
Huddle, okay, so you guys can definitely do that.
Oh man, so this was before the All 22. Yeah, they were just playing. I think they're just playing condensed versions. I think it was before the All 22. NFL Huddle. I don't even know what that is. Is that a thing? NFL Huddle.
But, yeah, I mean, I just got done, so I don't want to make this video too long. They could probably...
And I did good with timing, bro. 24 minutes. Like, that doesn't happen ever. Ever. We killed that, man. See, that's why. Right there. That would get you. Need more Lions reporter interviews. Tim Twentyman, Rogers, Lomas Brown, Dan Miller. This has been an exciting year for all of them. Yo, that's true. I do need to reach out to some of them. I haven't done that. I do need to reach out to some of them and see if we can make that happen. I definitely shout out to Ray Dodd for liking my video right now. I don't know why it tells me on Facebook, but it doesn't tell me on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's clicked the like button. I was thinking about that. YouTube needs to add that feature where I can see who clicks the like button. I think it would get people fired up. But I don't remember. Oh yeah, I got to reach out to some of them. That'd be cool. I think Dan Miller would come on. You know what I mean? We've had Dan Miller on a couple times. I got to do that. Hey, maybe before the Super Bowl, he handle business, got a little time. That might be a great time to get him on there. Loving meathead named Dan Campbell. Yeah, for real. Hey, if you'd have told me that then, I'd be like, no, man, Patricia's the dude. We're not, we're not getting a new head coach. I would have told you that. I would have told you, you're wrong. I would have told you Patricia's the guy. He's gonna be here for 20 years, man. Well, some things just don't stick. I would have been real confident about that too, especially after that Chiefs loss. I would have been believing, like, wait a minute, we actually might be real good, because I was hyped. That was I was still in high school then, because I can remember, I remember posting that video and walking around the college campus. I was doing college classes, man, and like, I remember like preparing for it while I was walking around. I was so hyped. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be fire. We're about to really go out here and beat the Chiefs, man. But okay. Well, with that, just like the Minnesota game plan, Lions will have a great game plan. They always do. You know what I mean? Like, never should doubt them. They always do. They always have a good game plan. They're always prepared. That's one thing you can bank on, man, is that they're always going to have a good plan, man. Their coaches are always going to have them prepared. Matty P. Yes, sir. Will Dan win the Coach of the Year? I don't think so, but you know what? Let's check. One more shout out, man. BetUS, YouTube 150 is the code. Top of the description, 150% deposit match on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits using code YouTube 150. I want to see if they have that on here, because I heard that Kevin O'Connell's for sure going to win it. That's what I heard today, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I actually don't even know where that would be. NFL specials? Nah, I don't think it's NFL specials. Oh, yeah. Wait. No. Next head coach. I did see this, though. We didn't talk about this. Aaron Glenn, it sounds like is going to be the next... well, it sounds like he definitely could be the next head coach of the Saints. Look, now he's minus 250. Aaron Glenn is the favorite to be the next head coach of the Saints. I saw today that they're like making a hard push to bring in Aaron Glenn. So that seems like that's what's going to happen. They have to wait, but it seems like that's what's probably going to go down, as Aaron Glenn might be going there. We got Ben Johnson at plus 1,500. Did they have Dion on here? Plus, wow, Dion's a heavy favorite to be their next head coach. I'll take that. Like, these things I think are good things. I thought that Mike McCarthy not being with the Cowboys was a good thing, because it actually could improve our chance of keeping like Ben Johnson, because I don't think they would hire from like the market that we all know of, and Deion Sanders would be that. They'd be taking somebody out of college, so that'd be great. That'd be great. Jets. Aaron Glenn's the favorite to be the Jets head coach too? Oh, snap. Hold up. He's the favorite of 2 coaches? Okay, that's interesting. We'll have more wins with Mike Vrabel in his first season. They did. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna bet a yes on that. Hold up. Let me go to 5-piece. What can I win? $4 wins me 2. 45. Oh. Wait. Can I bet a 5-piece to win 250? All right, let's bet 10. We gotta walk away with at least 5-piece on that. At least 5-piece on that. At the Cowboys coach. Imagine have your name listed on one of these. The Kool-Aid was crazy. That's all good though. That will never go away. You know what I mean? Believing. I'll never lose that. Ultra optimistic. I don't think that'll ever go anywhere. Sam Darnold. Y'all, I mean, it still happens. You guys watch me live, and some of y'all probably think I'm absolutely crazy. I always think this after we do live streams, by the way. We're doing a watch party live. Like, these dudes got to be thinking I'm crazy sometimes. Because, like, I'm sitting there, like, really believing when it looks horrible. And I think back on it, like, man, was I, like, doing too much? Like, did I believe too much? Did I really sound crazy when we were live? Because I know most people in the chat, like, we're like, yo, this is bad. Because we've had those games. And I'm like, no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're watching it live. And I think back on it when it doesn't turn out that we're fine. And it's like, yo, I probably sounded crazy. I do that a lot. I think back a lot about what I say on live streams. But that being said, though, sometimes it does work. And it's always real. I never make it up. Like, what was the one recent game? San Fran. Like, I really believe, like, yo, we're going to get stops on San Fran. We did. We ended up getting stops. That was, like, one time it definitely worked out. There's other times, like Seattle. I remember Seattle was like, it didn't happen. They just kept scoring. They just kept scoring. We never got stops. So I was wrong on that one. But yeah, YouTube 150, that's the code. Shout out to BetUS, man, sponsoring today's live stream. I did not see our opponents for next season. Is that out? Let's do that, and then we'll wrap this thing. See, okay, then you're with me, Spencer. So that's why this is super relatable. There's no problem here. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do opponents 2025. Let's do it. Let's look. Lions opponents set January 5th. Okay, no, I haven't seen this. Grade my flat top haircut like Val Kilmer from the Top Gun 1987. Let me know what you thought of this on your YouTube live chat. Wait, did you send me a picture? Or is that what? Grade my flat top haircut? You sent me a picture? I was thinking about watching Top Gun Maverick. I was thinking about watching that. Anyways, here we go. Here's the upcoming opponents. Okay, division games. We got Dallas again next year. This time we get them at home at least. Damn, we play Dallas again, man. Giants. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Cleveland. Okay. Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay. It looks like a lot of dubs at home, I got to be honest. Road game, Chicago. Okay. Washington. Okay. We got the NFC East and Philly. Dang, that's tough. Why they give us the 2 tougher NFC East games on the road? All right, Cincinnati. That'll be tricky. Dang, Baltimore, Kansas City, Rams. Yo, that road schedule is disgusting. That's messed up. Nah, this is a messed up road schedule, bro. They had to balance this out a little bit. They give us the easy games at home. This isn't right. This is not fair. This is not right. NFL, what are we doing? One of these games got to be in a different country, man. These can't be your road games. Baltimore, Kansas City, Rams, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Washington. What? And then we get, like, yo, make us play on the road at Cleveland. Make us play at Tampa Bay, at New York Giants. You know what I mean? They got to flip some of these, man. But, like, can't they flip the home and aways? You know what I mean? Like, can't they move that? Because I know there's, like, a, you know, it's by, like, your finishing and your seeding is who you line up with division-wise, right? Where you finish within your division. And then you'll get those, like, 2 games, those, like, 2, what were they, random conference games. And then you have, you know, your divisional opponents. And then you have your 2 divisions that you match up with. But, like, I feel like or maybe they're not 2 random. They're, like, 2 of the, yeah, they're 2, like, games, but they're at where you're finished in the division. So we get the top teams. That's unfortunate. That's why we are where we are. But, because it looks like, what is this? AFC North and NFC East. They could flip some of these, though, Ed. You know what I mean? They could flip some of these, though. They don't got to give us all the good teams on the road. They want us to lose next year. I'm glad you had me look this up. They want us to lose next year, man. That's what this is. They're like, this team's going to lose some games, man. This team, we're done watching this team win all the time. We're going to give them some L's. We already won KC on their home. It's doable. Definitely doable. I just don't love that it's like every good team's on the road. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, I'm glad I looked that up. That's kind of disgusting, but okay. All right, I'm confident at home, though. 8-0 at home. Wait, but is there more games at home or on the road next year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's more on the road next year. We got 9 on the road. Are they bringing an extra game in? I wonder. Last time we played the Bengals at home, so now we got to go over there. Oh snap! My bad. Okay. You said last time we played the Bengals at home. So last time we played Pittsburgh on the road and Cleveland at home. So now we got Pittsburgh at home and Cleveland at home. Man. All right. Well, international game. That's what we need. Is an international game. It's a good look. Man. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave it here, man. I appreciate y'all joining, man. YouTube 150. Shout out to BetUS. Appreciate everybody that joined in. If you're just joining, man, roll it back to the beginning. We go through the injury report. I give you my first thoughts on Washington. And tomorrow we'll have a lot of shows going down, man. So stay tuned to Community Tab. If not, Roundtable Sports, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Bleacher Report. Right after that's Roundtable. And then, you know, we'll see where we go from there. I may have another show over here tomorrow. We'll see. I definitely want to do something, but I have to figure out what it is. That's the problem. You know what I mean? I've got to figure out day after day what we can do. But definitely still working on my preview and hoping at worst to have that thing out by Thursday. If I can get out tomorrow, I'll post it tomorrow. Hoping at worst to get the thing out by Thursday. That way you guys have some time to check it out. But until then, appreciate y'all joining, man. Have a great night. I'm fired up for the roundtable. I mean, they're going to be a little bit sad, but I'm fired up. You know what I mean? I'm fired up. And I'll see y'all then tomorrow. We out, man.